Welcome, guys. I think we are live. Here we are on the Boom Broadcasting Network. Yes, the
Let's
NFL Draft.
go.
Welcome to our watch party, guys. My name is Jason Colenzo. I am here with my man Carson. We are live on the Boom Broadcasting Network. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Carson, I know I'm excited for some football. Here we are, finally with the NFL Draft. How are you feeling this draft
Dude,
night?
I'm so excited. First off, what an amazing draft we have. Like the top end talent outside of quarterback, I just think it is really, really good. I mean, you got David Bailey, Arvell Reese, Jeremiah Love. I mean, these are guys who I think are future Hall of Famers. So I mean, I just couldn't be more excited. I think that we're going to see a lot of trades, a lot of exciting risers and fallers, and I think that we're going to have a lot to talk about tonight. So I'm super excited. But Jason, I see you're decked out in your Giants gear. My Packers don't even have a pick in the first round. They're not going to
That's
be picking
crazy.
day one at all. So yeah, well, that's what you got. That's what you get when you trade for Micah Parsons. I'm happy with it though. But Jason, your Giants have an early pick, have two early picks actually. So how are you feeling?
Um, man, nervous excitement. It's pretty crazy. I don't think they've had two top 10 picks ever. But first thing I do want to do is let's give a shout out to Boom Broadcasting here. This is our
Yep.
1000th Boom Broadcasting show. So,
Wow.
guys, thank you very much for joining us. This is number 1000. So shout out to everybody who participates here on the Boom Broadcasting Network. Shout out to Mr. Michael Davis,
Yeah.
our Boom Broadcasting president, which none of this could
Mhm.
be achieved without him. So yeah, here we are, man. 1000th show here on the Boom Broadcasting Network, which is pretty cool. But yeah, man, New York Giants, two top 10, two picks in the top 10. We're going to get two players that are looking to make an instant impact on this team. This is Harbaugh's first NFL draft with the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Lots of expectations with Dart and Scatabo. We got neighbors coming back. That defense. So I'm really, really curious to see what the Giants are going to do. Lots of talk in the win here about going defense, offense, defense, maybe defense both. There's just a lot going on. But as a Giants fan, I am pretty excited. I think no matter who we get, they've been talking a lot of good names here floating in the wind. Although I don't believe a lot of it. It's the internet fodder. Who
Yeah,
knows
absolutely.
if it's true or they're just saying it to drum up whatever and get people to trade and that kind of stuff. So, but let me get your thoughts there, Mr. Carson. Who do you think the Giants should draft?
Well, actually, this is a question I was just about to ask you. So, um,
I know who
I'm
I want. I
interested to
know
see
who
what
I
you
want us to
get there.
draft. I'll give you that, but I want to hear from you
I've
because
seen
I know you're looking from outside of. I'm picking emotionally. You don't have any emotion in the game.
right. Well, I've seen a lot of talk about Jeremiah Love going, and I think that just depends on how much confidence you have in Scadaboo. I'm not the biggest Scadaboo guy. I think already with um, just his the way he plays plus his injury history, I would not be too high on him as your running back one. So I wouldn't hate Jeremiah Love, but really that comes down, I think, to how Harbaugh feels about him. And Harbaugh picked up this Giants job pretty quickly. Uh, so, maybe he is pretty confident in him. And if you are, then I would take I can't even remember his name, but the O lineman. He's the best O lineman in the draft. Why can I not remember his name right now?
You thinking defensively? You thinking offensively?
I'm thinking the O lineman. I cannot remember the O lineman's name, but
I mean,
I
I
would
know we
I
got a
would
lot of
I
great
would
O line in this draft, but I don't know if the Giants are going O line.
I think that would be the smartest thing. You want to protect Scadaboo, you want to protect Dart. That defensive line, yes, just lost Dexter Lawrence, but you've got Abdul Carter, you got Brian Burns, and the two great defensive players early in this draft are, well, really, you got three, I guess, but they're linemen and defensive edge. You don't need defensive edge. I could see y'all going a lineman. Um, Reese is not going to be available, but maybe Sonny Styles would be a good pick. But yeah, I think O line. I think addressing the O line, addressing the trenches is always a safe and smart thing to do, especially when you got one as good as you do in this draft. And I'm gonna look at his name up real quick just to make sure that I can get this
I
and
know
get it out
I know
there.
there's a lot of top ones with Lomu and Fano, Magnoa over there
Yeah,
from Miami, Freeling. I want to see the Giants in that first pick. I want to see him go Sonny Styles. I think
you want
him.
to see Sonny?
Oh yeah, I want to see. I love defense. I know Harbaugh loves defense. Not only that, it keeps him away from the Cowboys because there's all this clamoring that the Cowboys want to trade up and get him. And then of course at that
Right.
top that 10th pick, this wide receiver class in this draft, the more I look at it, it's just ridiculous. There are some really really good wide receivers because man, we may even see at Tate at 10. You got Malachi Lemon. I know there's all this talk about Jordan Tyson. I'm not really sold on him. I really have questions about his durability with Tyson. But
Yeah.
lots of great Casey Concepcion. I mean, you're just stockpiled with wide receivers. Denzel Boston, I really like him. So I don't think the Giants could go wrong with picking a wide receiver at 10 because you're going to get an instant starter. We need to get Malik Neighbors some help. If you get pair him with somebody
Yeah.
like that, man, watch out now. So
I
lots
have
of good
I have
guys to get,
seen
man.
I have seen some wide receiver chatter. I'm with you on on Jordan Tyson. I think, or is it Jordan Tyson? Yeah,
Yeah,
I am just worried about the injury concerns.
yeah, I am
I
huge.
people are saying that he's got the highest upside of any wide receiver in this draft, and I could. I mean, I'm not arguing there, but I do agree with you that the injury concerns are a lot, and I think NFL GMs are gonna be with us on that as well. Um, so I think when we're talking about risers and fallers, I think that he's one of the guys who we could see fall more than anybody else.
Right. And I can see that too. I can see that too. And then we're gonna go. I want to shout out my man Podcast Smitty here, who's watching us. So thank you very much. Shout out. He's at the Merle Fest right now, so unfortunately he's got to get his updates of this draft on his phone. So, but shout out Podcast Smitty, man. We miss you here on the Boom Broadcasting Network. So, guys, make sure you jump on. Hit that link, get in the Boom Broadcasting here. If you're joining us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, hit that button, drop us some comments, let us know what's going on, what your favorite team is, who you guys want to draft. So please don't be afraid to get in here and start conversating with us here, or you may be watching from YouTube or from Facebook. So, wherever you're at, jump on, drop us a line, hit that like and subscribe here. Come on in and join us because we got about 1 minute and 36 seconds. I'm watching the countdown as we speak with this draft in 2026. This is super excited. We already know who's going number one, Fernando Mendoza.
Yep.
So that's going to be a no brainer. Do you think this is going to really change things? This first pick, Carson. Do you think that's really going to change things for these Raiders? I know they've added some pieces in the offseason, especially Lindenbaum on that O line, which was nice. I mean, they still have Genty coming, from last year, rookie, his second year now, and their stud tight end there. So, do you really think Mendoza's the answer for these Raiders?
I got to be honest with you. No, I really don't.
Really?
Listen, I think this is a really, really weak quarterback class. and I like Mendoza. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he would go number one in most drafts. I
Really?
don't. Yeah, I don't even know if he should go number one in this draft. Look, I like Mendoza. I am lower on him than consensus. I feel like this is like, number one has to be a quarterback. Number one is
Right.
always a quarterback. Somebody, whoever is in that number one spot is almost always going to need a quarterback. So,
Right.
yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, he's definitely going number one. If it were me, though, I might trade back to like sixth or seventh and try to pick up an offensive lineman because you're just putting him in a really, really rough situation immediately. I mean, it's just
Right. I don't know.
it,
This is definitely one of the weaker QB classes that we've seen in a long time. And hey, Mr. Carson, we're going to pop a special person in here real quick. Here, let me bring him to the stage. This is no other than our Mr. President, Mr. Michael Davis. Welcome, Mr. Davis. Welcome to the
Thank you.
NFL draft, man. Let's go.
Thank you guys. I love what you guys are doing. Jason, shout out for your printout. This is the 1000th podcast
yeah,
episode on Boom Broadcasting, and I could not do it without any of you guys. You guys have been absolutely incredible. I'm very, very thankful for you guys and all the stuff you've been doing. Excited for the draft tonight. We got pick 12 and 20 for the Cowboys. I'm going to be popping in and out. I know you guys have talked about other people appearing on the show tonight. So I did want to hop on here real quick just to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed, who has watched, who has been on some of these podcasts. Because again, 1,000 podcasts within 2-year time frame is not easy at all. And of course,
yeah.
Roger Goodell is going to steal my spotlight here.
Yep, here we go. Here we go. He always gets the booze, which I don't know.
Of
Roger
course,
Goodell's
as he should.
done a pretty good. He's done a pretty good job. I mean, that's a tough gig, commissioner. I mean, the NFL has never been more popular. So, I mean, you can boo him, but he's still done. He's still done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, I like the kickoff rule. I know that it's been pretty controversial, but I do like the kickoff rule. I think it's good for the game. So, you know, here and there, here and there. He's here and there.
Yeah. And of course, even moving the times down from 10 minutes to 8 minutes, we're going to waste all that with advertisements and Roger Goodell's speech.
Yeah, I know.
Of
That's
course.
going to come up here. You got to have it. You got to have it. That's it's on my bucket list though. I want to go to a live draft at some point in time. I really wanted to go to this one here. Pittsburgh was not too far from me. I just couldn't make it happen, but I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Also, shout out to Jose watching us live. Appreciate
Yes.
you, my friend. He's been a huge supporter of Boom Broadcast in general. So we really appreciate you.
Yes, that's my dog. Shout out.
Shout out Jose.
Lake Worth. Let's go. Lake Worth, Florida, man, in the building.
And Pittsburgh was such a good place to host this because there's such a passionate fan base there. A lot of people would like to travel to Pittsburgh as well. Really good weather tonight.
Yep.
They did really well.
Oh yeah, it's huge football town. I mean, I think that's a great place to have it. I like that they're doing it in the different locations. I think they really allow fans to kind of interact and really support their team. So I hope they kind of do. Just about I think every place, every stadium deserves to have the NFL draft. To support their team and to kind of show up. I know there's some better stadiums than others, but I think it's pretty cool that they're doing this. It's just not in New York anymore. We appreciate you, Jose.
I agree. I'm pretty sure Packers are getting it here soon. I'm pretty sure, which is going to be electric. Or wait, didn't they get it last
No,
year?
they had it last year. Yeah, Green Bay, because I remember
Okay,
when
yeah,
they
that's right.
drafted
That's right.
when they drafted Golden, it was a huge deal. So,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
well, while we're on here, Mr. Davis, I want to pick your brain because, of course, you are our resident Dallas Cowboys fan. So I definitely want to hear some of your prognostications on what you think your Cowboys are going to do. I know they just signed George Pickens to his franchise sheet, so that was pretty interesting to happen right before the draft. So, what do you think the Cowboys are going to do here in this first round, or where would you like to see them go here in this first round?
Well, the Cowboys did put the franchise tag on George Pickens. He did sign that today. There is speculation that the Cowboys might use that as trade leverage, but honestly, I would not want to move off George Pickens. I think you have your offense solidified. I don't want to take a risk on any of these receivers being a bust. This was one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my lifetime. And if you do not use pick 12 on the best defensive player available that fits your scheme, but then in 20, I'm anticipating that the Dallas Cowboys trade back. There may be a player dropping. The Cowboys might trade back, stay in the first round, get 2 first-round talents,
Right.
but only trade back if you can recoup a second-round pick. Because after tonight, the next time they're picking is late third round.
Wow. Okay. And do you think do you want to see them stick defense? So a couple defensive players, you really want them to focus on that in this first round, or do you think they need to get maybe another offensive weapon in a very deep wide receiver draft?
Yeah, I need defense. I need defense. That's the one thing that held them back last year. This was a Super Bowl caliber offense, and the fact that we struggled so much on defense is the reason that we were 7-9-1 and missed the playoffs. Can't have that for another consecutive year. So
Right.
we need defense badly, and I really don't know who's going to be available there at 12.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
If y'all don't go defense, I mean, I'm already saying Jerry Jones has got to go, but that would be crazy because I mean your defense was so terrible last year, and your offense is fine. I mean George Pickens. Come on,
Carsen,
it was
I know.
awful. It was terrible.
Carsen, I know you're going to give me a hard time for the Packers taking Micah Parsons. Jason's going to give me a hard time for being a Giants fan. Hopefully, we don't get any Eagles or Commanders fans in here because I know they'll give me a hard time as well.
But I'm being serious though. I mean, your offense was great last year. You had Dak Prescott. You had George Pickens. You have CD Lamb. I mean, I think George Pickens is going to get traded tonight, but I mean, you have an amazing offense. You're going to still because Dak is just very, very good. He's a very good. And I'll swallow my pride for a lot of what I've said about Dak. He's a really, really, really good quarterback. So I think that your offense is going to be okay. Hopefully, y'all can get a running back maybe somewhere later, but I think you have to go defense with this 12th overall pick.
Yeah, I hope they do, and we're gonna bring in another name here. We got a huge supporter of the Boom Broadcasting Network here that's going to pop by and say hello. We got him added here, Mr. Aikman Chambers. What's going on? Welcome to the NFL Draft here on the Boom Broadcasting Network. Thank you so much for joining us here. Welcome, and how excited are you to be talking some football tonight?
Oh, it feels good. It's been a long time coming since I felt like I've been able to just sit back completely and talk football. We made it through free agency. Now we're in here into the draft. I love it tonight. It's going to be a great night. Raiders are on the clock as we speak, as if we need to hype up who that pick's going to be. I mean, we've known it since the college football playoff brackets were revealed, who the number 1 pick basically was going to be. And I'm excited. I'm also hoping that while we're on here tonight, the Dallas Cowboys get a wide receiver in the draft just so I can laugh for a little while tonight. And then maybe we'll figure out that George Pickens gets traded as well since he finally signed his franchise tag. Maybe it'll really be a good night.
It's definitely going to be an interesting night. We're always waiting for something. Of course, this first pick is we already know it. So, Mendoza's going to come out here, shake some hands, and do that thing. And Aikman, I asked Carson this earlier. Do you think this first pick, Fernando Mendoza, really just blew up? To me, I liken this to kind of like what happened to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was a good prospect, but then had a phenomenal season. Won the national championship. Next thing you know, his stock went through the roof. I mean, I think that's kind of same thing that happened to Mendoza here. Do you think this is going to help change the narrative that's happening with Las Vegas?
It's tough. They spend a lot of money in free agency. I do think they tried to get out ahead and put a lot of pieces in front of Fernando Mendoza. I mean, when you go and break the center market the way they did with Tyler Lindenbaum to reset it for the foreseeable future, that shows that they're invested in Mendoza from the start. Now, how much effect it has, I don't know. They went and bulked up the defense as well in free agency, added a lot of good pieces there. I'm not as sold. If this was any other draft, I don't think Fernando Mendoza would be the first quarterback taken. If this was the 2027 crop, I do not think he would be the first quarterback taken. I really don't. It's going to be interesting to me to see how he progresses with the Raiders. They've put pieces there to try to help him from the jump. I'm just still not – I don't really like any of the quarterbacks in this class, if I'm going to be real honest with you. He just happens to be the best of the bunch, and the Raiders are in desperate need of a quarterback. I know we'll talk about Ty Simpson at some point, but you might see me go You might see me go through this window behind me when somebody trades back into the first round to take him. So just be forewarned.
Dude, Mendoza was good. Did you not watch any of the
I did, but I just don't –
won a national championship for Indiana. I mean, Indiana is not a football school at all. So for him to pull that off, that's amazing.
Curt Cignetti goes a long way into that. Curt Cignetti is worth a few wins himself as a coach.
I'll give you that.
Curt Cignetti is a phenomenal coach. What he did at James Madison every step of the way that he has climbed up the coaching ranks, the dude is a winner. Say what you want to about his personality. Curt Cignetti accounts for a certain number of wins within himself. Maybe he comes in, maybe he's generational. I just don't like the quarterbacks in this class at all, like to a degree. I just think he is the best quarterback. I mean, the gap between Fernando and Ty Simpson in this class is a pretty sizable gap to me. Like, he is head and shoulders. But it also just, for me, I still want to wait and see. I mean, I'll give the Raiders credit. They've put pieces where they need to put them, but you're the number one pick for a reason, because generally speaking, you're going to a bad team. So we'll see how it works.
He does have some good pieces there in Las Vegas. So we're going to see. I mean, but he earned this first round. I mean, this first pick, man, he really did. And then we got the man, the myth, the one, the only Boom Broadcasting's Mr. Chris DeLuca from the Dugout Debrief. Let's up, Chris. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, man, not too much. I'm just excited for the NFL draft here. It's happening just a little bit north of me, up in Pittsburgh, PA. Of course, I got my Steelers stuff on, repping the local team. It's really interesting how Pittsburgh kind of reminded me. I was up there a couple weeks ago. It reminded me of someone who's in a group project, and they haven't really started their part of it because they were just repainting the bridges, just working on the roads. Of course, if you've been to the great city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, notoriously does not have the best road conditions overall. So it seemed like they were trying to get everything together at the last second. But regardless, we're excited. I'm interested to see who the Steelers will draft here in 2026 in the hometown of the Berg, because they really need something going for them. How bad Stanley Cup playoffs are going. So hopefully the Steelers make a good pick here in the draft.
No, I
Chris,
do
I
have to
gotta
ask
ask
you,
you, man.
Chris. Yeah,
Oh,
go for it. We got
I feel like we got the
quarterback,
same
man.
exact question here.
Yeah,
Do you
quarterback
want the
here.
Steelers to get Ty Simpson? I've heard a lot of talk about it. Maybe he could mentee under Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if if anybody should be at this point. Come on, get out of the camera. But yeah, I mean, do you want Ty Simpson here?
So that's shout out to your cat, by the way. I've had that happen to me a couple times as well. But
She's gonna do it a lot.
I know, I get it. Torties are interesting cats, but I got to be honest with you. We drafted Will Howard here last year, and Ty Simpson, while he's probably he's a level or so above Will Howard, it's not that much of a difference. I think personally, when you've already kind of gone for that quarterback where you're not sure if he has an NFL future anyway, you might as well just develop the guy that's already been there. I just think it's kind of a waste of a draft pick to go Ty Simpson. Because probably by the time we're at that portion, the second, third round, he's not going to be there anyway. So there's no point in reaching when there's going to be other options, better options already there, where you can go for a receiver, you can go for a linebacker there. You already have kind of a non-NFL ready quarterback on your roster at QB2, assuming Rodgers does decide to stay. So I think it's just kind of a waste to go for Ty Simpson. No knock against him, but you already have Will Howard. You already have a quarterback that's got a lot of question marks around him. So develop Will Howard. If Rodgers comes back, then if Rodgers doesn't come back, then I guess you roll out Will Howard in year 2 and just kind of hope for the best. I mean, we were not expecting much quarterback play from the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback position anyway, regardless of who's here, unless the Chiefs just decide to trade us Patrick Mahomes, which I think is pretty unlikely.
Yeah, well, the second overall pick is in for the Jets. We're going to see.
Oh, boy, here we go.
In just a minute. After
This is where it gets started.
Interview.
The Jets keep jetting. Here we go.
So I do want to bring up a really interesting thing. The Raiders have very bad luck because every time they take a player, the next one is usually a Hall of Famer. I mean, there's no better example than the year the Raiders took Jamarcus Russell, number 1 overall, and the very next pick was Megatron. I mean, this is a theme over and over again. So maybe the Jets don't jet. Maybe we're looking at a first ballot Hall of Famer right here.
It's definitely possible. I feel like the players in this draft, I was just telling Jason before everybody got on, I feel like there are so many great players in this draft who are almost immune to organizational incompetence. Orville Reese, I think, is going to be amazing. I think could potentially be a future Hall of Famer. David Bailey, I think, could potentially be a future Hall of Famer. I mean, I just think Sonny Styles, I think, could be a potentially a future Hall of Famer. There are so many great players in this draft. Jeremiah Love, obviously, I can't believe I didn't mention him, but there are so many great players in this draft that I could just see plenty of them going to the Jets and still being good, which is kind of crazy because nobody goes to the Jets and still looks good. And here comes my other cats.
Shout out. Here we go.
Here we go, though. Roger Goodell walking up. We're going to see who it is.
No, David Bailey.
Yep.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be Reese, but I was just talking about David Bailey. I think that is a potential future Hall of Famer at a position of need. So I don't hate it. I think Orville Reese was maybe the more versatile pick, but maybe for an organization like the Jets, you want a straightforward, this is how you play this guy. You play him on the edge and he gets to the quarterback.
Well, the interesting part about the Jets, and even when their offenses stunk, they usually had at least a pretty good defense. And last year, they stunk on both sides of the ball. But this is going to be interesting, too, to see, do the Cardinals go chalk and then pick Reese? Because I think you could have interchanged both of those guys really in this position. I know we talked about it on Sunday with Aaron on the Gridiron Address. But, at least the Jets didn't mess it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this where Jeremiah Love's conversation starts to come in at 3?
This is going to be interesting with the Cardinals, yes.
I could definitely see a Jeremiah Love. I don't know. I think Reese. I think it was either going to be Reese 2, Bailey 3, or Bailey 2, Reese 3.
So where does everybody see Jeremiah Love going?
Tennessee. They need him. Pollard's not the answer, but I can see him going here too because James Conner getting a little long in the tooth, durability questions. They definitely don't have much behind him. They were always struggling there, so I really could see the Cardinals just saying, you know what, let's go get ourselves a running back. You don't have really much of a quarterback with Kyler Murray not that there, so you need somebody offensively to pair with Marvin Harrison Jr. because there's not a lot left on that offense with the Cardinals. But I can see them doing defense. But this Love, this is an intriguing pick if they take him.
Chris,
what
where
do you think,
see
Chris?
Love going?
That's a tough one. I mean, there's a lot of needs overall. I don't think Arizona is going to go for him. I think that there are just more team needs for him, but I definitely see him probably going up high in the top 5 here.
Aikman, what about you?
It's going to be interesting because I think Jeremiah Love, the Cardinals pick here is going to set the tone for about the next 5 draft picks. I think overall, this right here, I mean, they could be working the phone for all we know. Maybe trying to trade out of this thing.
Yeah.
It could come down to the wire. We shall see. I do not think Jeremiah Love makes it past the Giants at 5, though. I'm going to be honest. I think if he's there, I know there's been the Jordan Tyson talk, but how do you not take Jeremiah Love if he's sitting there at 5 if you're Joe Shane to kind of, it washes away some of the Saquon deal if you take Jeremiah Love, I think.
Yeah.
Joe Shane.
Very, very true. I think he's gone here at 4. I think the only thing the Tennessee Titans are really good at is drafting Hall of Fame running backs. So, I mean, this is where they have to go. Look, the Titans, they're not going to do anything really anyway. I thought maybe they would want to go offensive line for Cam Ward. Maybe they would want to go offensive line for Cam Ward or perhaps Jordan Tyson at wide receiver, give him another option there. But Jason and I were saying before y'all got on, we're both pretty low on Jordan Tyson. Where do y'all fall on that? I'm just too worried about his injury concerns.
Yes, injury concerns scare me. I do not, and I repeat, I do not want Washington to take Jordan Tyson at 7 if he's on the board. That's not the answer I want at number 2 receiver as Terry McLaurin starts to get older. That's not – if they're going to take a receiver at 7, I prefer Carnell Tate for us over Jordan Tyson. I'm just so scared of the injury history. I mean, you go back to 2022 when he was at Colorado. It's where it started, and it's been something nearly every year.
Yeah, and as a Giants fan, take him, go for it. I'd love
That's
to
why
get
I want
Tate.
the Giants
I'd
to
love
take
to
him
get
at 5.
Tate at 10. But we got the Cardinals pick is in, so this is going to be interesting to see. Do they go with Reese? Do they go Love with a running back? I mean, they do need a lot there in Arizona. Do they come out and announce that this was a traded pick, and do they get more picks and trade back a little bit? And because that team needs a lot. Arizona Cardinals are basically the New York Jets of the desert. I mean, they just cannot get it right. They are constantly floundering in that West. I mean, it's terrible. So they need something now that Murray's gone. They are, quarterback issue, say they need everything there in Arizona. So I don't see one guy being the answer. So I would not be surprised to see a trade. But we're going to see here. This pick's coming in here soon. So we're going to see what happens.
I will say for what you were talking about with maybe Jeremiah Love going to the Cardinals, that would be a really good safety valve for whoever they do bring in at quarterback. You could check it down to Jeremiah Love and your stats at the end of the season are going to look pretty good because Jeremiah Love is just that good. And it would give Marvin Harrison Jr. some help. So, I mean, the defense isn't keying in only on him. They still have to look out for an amazing explosive running back. So I believe here comes Roger Goodell. Yep.
Here he is. Here we go.
It's got to be Reese. I think it's going to be Reese.
Jeremiah Love.
Wow.
Wow. First shock of the night. Wow.
I know the Tennessee Titans are just kicking themselves.
They have just fallen. I think Tennessee, I can hear them from here. I'm over here in Virginia. I can hear just everybody in Tennessee just gasp.
Drafting a running back at 3rd overall.
Wow.
Is something else in 2026.
It's definitely high. Highest since top 5 running backs since Saquon Barkley. Even Ashton Jenney fell outside the top 5. But I mean, if you're going to use generational on a player, I think it would be pretty safe to use it on Jeremiah Love. So I can understand why he went this high, especially considering what I just said, with them just needing a safety valve. I think Jeremiah Love is the perfect guy for that. Mike, is that a hot take? Is that out of pocket?
I wouldn't say out of pocket. It's very interesting to see like what they think of him. At quarterback, there's not much to go off of for Arizona. Obviously, I wouldn't take Ty Simpson anywhere close to the first round, maybe not even the second round. But Jeremiah Love is almost doing what Ashton Jenney did last year for the Raiders and get a running back in place to where they would take pressure off whoever's going to be the quarterback for them. They're not winning this division next year. So why not get a running back who can help take pressure off and can really build? This tells you what they thought of Jeremiah Love.
Wow, that is shock, dude. That's crazy. They need everything, and they went offense. So, I mean, what does Tennessee do here now? Do they, now that their guy is gone, do they trade this pick and move back, let somebody move up, or do they go Reese, or do they, man, what does Tennessee do now? Because I have a feeling they really thought Love was going to fall to them, and I think they are just demoralized now. They've got to be like shocked and saddened up for this.
Well, I was thinking that, but at the end of the day, I mean, there is still a guy on the board who you can build your entire defense around in Orville Reese. So I mean, how mad can you be with getting that guy who I think maybe could have gone number 1 overall? I mean, I'm with Aikman. I'm not a huge Mendoza fan. I like him, but I think he's a weaker number 1 overall pick. So to get a guy like Orville Reese at 4, I think is just tremendous value.
What do you think, Aikman? Do you think this is a consolation prize for Tennessee getting Reese, or do you think that's really going to help them out?
I'll be honest with you. I got to think Tennessee's the GM. I got to think the phone's ringing right now. I got to think the phone is ringing right now for the Titans for trade chat.
We lost Aikman here, but Chris,
he's still here.
Oh, can I just not hear him?
Am I good?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, it says the Titans pick is in, so they're going to stay in pick. You got to wonder if their phone was ringing, though, to consider the idea of a trade with an Orville Reese right there and some others. I think if you're the Titans, it's hard to pass up Orville Reese to fall in your lap before. There's worse, as to allude off what Carson said, there's worse consolation prizes than Orville Reese, especially to build a defense with. I do think if Jeremiah Love was here, this is no question. I think they would have paired Cam Ward with Jeremiah Love, which is a smart thing to do. But I gotta think it's defense here with Orville Reese, and then it really starts to get interesting between 5, 6, and 7.
What about going offensive line? I mean, does Tennessee just bite the bullet and go, okay, our guy is not there. We need to protect Cam Ward, so let's go get the top, offensive lineman off the board. You got a lot of great offensive tackles and offensive linemen out there. Again, with Proctor and Fano. So, I mean, you got some guys they can get. So, I mean, do you think Tennessee just says, okay, we lost. It's good defense, but we need to protect our franchise quarterback.
Well, they could very well go offensive line. One of the things I've been doing a lot of digging the last few days and just listening and reading to people that cover the draft. A guy that has shot up a lot of draft boards is Monroe Freeling out of Georgia. The dude is a monster. He tested well, ran a tremendous 40 time, super agile at 6'7", 315 pounds. I saw that Cleveland supposedly really likes Monroe Freeling. I may or may not have sprinkled a bet for Monroe Freeling to be the first offensive lineman take because of the odds after my past week or so of reading into some of this intel. But it's good. You can, to me, I'm old school. You can never have too many good offensive linemen.
This is true.
I completely agree. I was just telling Jason the same thing. I was saying maybe if you're the Tennessee Titans, maybe you trade back and go offensive line, protect Cam Ward. In my opinion, protecting the quarterback is the most important thing that you can do other than have a good quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, I would be with that. But here comes Roger Goodell. So let's see. Are they going to go Reese? Is there going to be a trade? We're about to find out.
Whoa. Wow.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. My hopes of Washington with a defensive stud at 7 may be alive. My hopes with Washington as a defensive stud at 7 may be alive.
Oh my, I cannot believe. Okay, so now we have to ask the question, how far is Orville Reese going to fall? I mean, is he going 5 to the Giants?
No, because I don't think the Giants take him. Even though he's a stud, where are you going to put him? And we have unless they trade
Sonny Styles too is another name we got to start to talk about.
Yeah, I mean I like Sonny, but wow, Carnell Tate.
Reese can play linebacker as well. I'm sorry, I don't want to just overlook Carnell Tate. Very good wide receiver, but this is a shock. At 4, in my opinion, it is.
Is this the first overreach?
I think it's too high. I think it's the first real reach.
They're really trying to build confidence for Cam Ward.
Yeah, I understand that, but that offensive line is just too bad to. I mean, he's not going to have time to give him the ball. He's not going to have time to get downfield.
That was his problem too. I mean, he was just constantly under duress. I mean, he reminded me a lot of even like a rookie Joe Burrow before the injury, like just still Joe Burrow, but running around constantly. Like, I'm not going to say seeing ghosts necessarily, but feeling like he needs to do everything. We saw those post-game press conferences of him, saying words we can't say on here, but overall, trying to build him confidence. But I think that building confidence better, comes from building around an offensive line, so he doesn't feel like he's running for his life 24/7, 365.
Well, I definitely think they'll do that.
Already in.
They
wasted no time. They wasted no time.
They know what they want.
This is Arvell. Is this Arvell Reese? Did they just say?
I don't think so, man. I really think they go Sonny. I would be
okay.
I will be very upset if they pick Tyson here, chicken nugget at 5 and let those guys go because. And then you talk about the Cowboys like falling down and all these other teams that are behind them falling down, that all these guys are falling to them. But no, this is huge. These first 2 picks of Love going to the Cardinals. I do Sideline Savants here in the Boom Broadcasting Network. We talk about fantasy football. So fantasy football wise, Love going to Arizona and now Tate going to Tennessee. This is going to have some huge fantasy football impact here coming up this next year because now you're going to see Love get fed the ball. Even though Connor's there, Connor's going to get pushed to the back now. And Calvin Ridley is not the answer there in Tennessee. So now you got a number 1 wide receiver there, in Tate. So I think they're still going to address the offensive line there. But, wow, Tennessee making a splash.
If there's one question you want to ask when it comes to Carnell Tate, because this is the one question I have, and I know that there were scouts that had wondered this too, was you had Jeremiah Smith on the other side of your offense at Ohio State that defenses had to account for. Did that help Carnell Tate Flash that you had a Jeremiah Smith, a guy who's a potential number 1 overall pick in the loaded 2027 class. How much did defenses accounting for Jeremiah Smith help you stand out? What will it be like when you were the one that they are accounting for?
Right. And I really think this is a product of Emeka Mbuka. So Mbuka last year blowing up, you see how these wide receivers coming out of Ohio State are just producing. You look at Drake London. I mean, Ohio State has been known to grow wide receivers right now. So I think this has a little smelling of Mbuka and how well he did coming out of Ohio State. So I think this had a little something to do with it also there, putting that out there because, wow, this is first 2 surprises this early in the draft, just turned everybody's head over. And you heard it here on the Boom Broadcasting Network, guys. This is crazy. So I am super excited to see what my Giants do here. I'm also nervous. I got a little pit in my belly. So I don't know, guys. Chris, what do you think Giants do here, man?
I mean, it's hard.
Talk me down.
I still think that it wouldn't surprise me if they go Arvell Reese just because, I mean, it's best available. And, Aikman was talking about this right when I got on the show, is that he's generational. We've all known that. There's a lot of generational defensive talent in this draft, even with Brian Burns, even with Abdul Carter, who is some guy that I was really big on last year. Aaron was really big on as well last program. So it still wouldn't surprise me. I mean, you're not the Falcons because we always make the joke that the Falcons just draft the best available and don't, they do throw team needs to the wind. But this might be a situation where the Giants need to do that, but also adding another wide receiver wouldn't be a bad idea, especially with question trying neighbors. So we'll see.
I don't think you just don't overthink it here.
Yeah, I completely agree. Jason, just imagine with me for a second. You've got a player who is an amazing linebacker, an amazing edge rusher, very, very versatile, can play multiple positions. Who's the one guy who you think can maximize that player's value? John Harbaugh. Harbaugh. Right?
Yeah, but is he Ray Lewis? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, Harbaugh had Ray Lewis. I mean, how many guys are Ed Reed? I mean, you got to remember he had some Hall of Fame legends on that team. Look, there's so much a coach can do. Players do the extra to be Hall of Fame legendary. You can get the help from the coach. You get the direction. But Ray Lewis ain't walking through that door. Is Reese Ray Lewis? Well, is Sony Styles Ray Lewis? I mean, I don't know if those guys are that yet. I need to know where Harbaugh's head is right now. So it's curious.
I know we're saying he's generational, but we're not saying he's the greatest linebacker of all time.
No, that's Lawrence Taylor.
Well, okay, you get what I'm saying, though. Ray Lewis is number 2 then. So I mean,
I can go with that.
If he is like Luke Kuechly, if he's Luke Kuechly, that's still a win. That's still a major win. So he doesn't have to be Ray Lewis. He can still be a Hall of Fame. He can still be a Hall of Fame linebacker. And you got John Harbaugh coaching him up.
Yeah, we'll see. Aikman, like I said, we have the tools. Can he do it?
Aikman, I want to hear what you're saying.
The Giants pick is coming, but we've got our first trade of the night coming after this. We've got our first trade coming, and it's a big one.
It's a big trade.
Oh yeah, it's interesting because the Kansas City Chiefs just decided to put their big boy pants on and come up the draft board.
Whoa, I didn't even see that coming through yet.
For what?
Someone's mad they missed the playoffs.
Sir, this is why when you trade Trent McDuffie, it leaves a big freaking hole on your defense. So I can tell you who they're going to draft at 6.
Oh, is this Sonny Styles?
They probably could have.
Oh, Cleveland. Yeah, they did. I want to hear this pick first. We'll get into that craziness here. Holy cow. So they just leapfrog. Dallas just went, wait a minute. That was supposed to be us. Wow. surprises already here in this draft here on the Boom Broadcasting Network.
They probably could have got a cornerback at 10. They probably didn't.
Here
need
comes
to trade.
Arvell Reese,
Yeah, you
boys.
got to figure Downs is out there too.
Here we go.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they went Reese.
The right pick.
Jason, you're the Giants guy.
Yeah, I can't argue with it. I mean, I think he just fell to us. He was probably number 2 pick.
Yeah.
I do like Sonny. I think that means Sonny falls a lot farther now too, unless he goes behind us here to the Chiefs, which we'll talk about that here in a second. But I like the pick. It's a pick you can't go wrong with. You just shored up the defense. That defense with Abdul Carter, Reese. Oh my goodness gracious! I know we just lost Sexy Dexy, but this kid's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I don't know if he's going to be that dude. I want to see him. Of course, we need to see some results, but it was a good pick by the Giants. Wouldn't have been my first pick, but that's okay. That's why I'm sitting here on my couch watching this. But you get the best player and the best ability, and you got him. And this guy is a stud. So I can't hate that. Go for it. And I can't believe the Cleveland Browns traded to the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Holy
Remember,
cow.
I said when you trade Trent McDuffie, it leaves a massive hole at corner. Who's the top corner on the board?
Downs. You go Downs here, Ohio State.
I think Downs. I mean,
Go to
there's
the
such a hole
go
in
to the
secondary.
Bayou. Go south.
But they
Go
could
to
have
the
got him
Bayou
at
in the
10. They
in
could have got him
the
at
SEC.
10.
You go
I
Delane? Mansour?
Mansour Delane.
Mansour Delane? Really?
Really?
Oh, man. Look at that.
And
Go
Sonny Styles
Giants.
just sitting there at 7 for Washington, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there.
Wow. See, that's what I'm
Okay.
afraid. That's what I was afraid
Washington
of.
Gotta get him. Washington has to.
He's a
get Sonny
DQ
Styles.
guy.
Washington will go wide receiver. What happens if Washington picks wide receiver? You talk about falling now.
Oh, God.
I
Not Jordan
think-
Tyson.
I think Washington's
nugget.
offense
Here we
is gonna
go.
be good. I think Washington's offense is going to be pretty good either way with Jaden Daniels. So I think you have to go defense. I mean, that
Jaden
defense,
Daniels-
Defense was the worst defense in the league. We got to continue to add pieces to the defense.
you got to get Sonny Styles if he's available. I mean, like I said, another future potential Hall of Famer. But Mike, I want to get your thoughts on this Reese pick as a Cowboys guy. You're in the same division. Are you scared? Are you nervous?
I mean, I'm not scared. Do you know
Be
the
very
amount of Giants players who have been blue chip prospects that went to New York and just never resulted in anything in the win column? That's the New York Giants for you. They continue to improve their front seven, and obviously the game is won or lost in the trenches. I do want to shout out, by the way, everybody who is watching us on our YouTube channel for Boom Broadcasting. We have reached over 160 people in this first hour for our 1000th podcast show on Boom Broadcasting. We want to appreciate you guys letting us be your coverage. Special shout out to Carsen for Aaron, who's going to be on soon. Jason for helping out. 8-Man Chris hopping on. Appreciate you guys. It's pretty cool. And I haven't even heard what Kansas City's given up, but I doubt it's going to be Mansour Delane. I feel like they could have stayed. I feel like they are going Sonny Styles. 8-Man, do you have those details?
The Chiefs are sending the 9th pick as well as a 3rd rounder and a 5th rounder for the 6th overall pick.
Wow.
Wow.
A 3 and a 5.
That's a
It's
lot.
got to be confident
That's
in
not a
somebody
lot.
here. It's got to be Sonny
That's a
Styles.
lot for this
Gotta be
this
Sonny.
pick. That's a lot.
To move up
Mansour
to
Delane, baby.
3, it's got to be Sonny. No, they could have got him at 10. They could have.
What do
had
they
to
throw
move
this
up to
all
get
together? Do
somebody
they
that
go
was
wide
super
receiver? Do the Chiefs wide receiver, or do they pick
strong.
a tight end to replace Mr. Swift?
Maybe they go O-line here.
I think the Chiefs could have stayed at 9 if they wanted Kenyon Sadiq. They could have got him at 9.
That's a lot to me. The ninth, the 3rd, and a 5th round in this draft. I think that's a lot for the Chiefs. Or
Because it's a really
Cleveland.
good draft too.
they must really love whoever they want right now. So this is going to be interesting. The pick is in, guys. Wow.
In my opinion, this pick right here is going to tell us a lot about the Chiefs in terms of just organization. I think like if they draft somebody who they could have just got at 9, then maybe the Chiefs' time is over. Here comes Roger Goodell, but I just don't know. I don't see the good in this unless it's Sonny Styles.
Oh my gosh, you were correct, sir. Aikman. Wow. Good call, buddy. Wow.
They traded up to get Mansour Delane.
Yeah, they could have got him at 9.
They could have got him at 9.
And if you're Cleveland, you get to fall back and justify taking maybe Monroe Freeling to, keep Shedeur Sanders halfway upright. Because I felt like Cleveland was going to go. I felt like Cleveland was a definite offensive line, and they didn't have to take one at 6 to justify it when they could trade back and get capital to go with it. Now I'm invested now, boys, because Sonny Styles is there. It's got to be Sonny Styles.
But do you go offensive line here, Aikman? I mean, that offensive line is bad, and Jaden Daniels is now, we know, injury prone, and he's already
I'm never
going to
be upset. Like I said a minute ago, you can never have too many good offensive linemen, but I don't think that's the pick here that they're going to go with. They could. I don't know that it will be. I just feel like the defense being last in pretty much all major statistical categories a season ago, you added and helped out the front line of the defense with Adafe Owe, Kalavion Chason. You've added some good pieces there. I just think the linebacking corps is what continues to need to be added to for Washington. Now, I wouldn't be upset with Caleb Downs here either because we need secondary help too. Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs. If we went Columbus in either form of the defense here, I'm not going to be upset with it.
Yeah.
Chris, what does this say, man? Man, this is crazy.
I just want to go ahead and first off, plug Boom Broadcasting. We are so lucky to be able to do this. Shout out to you, Michael Davis, for just giving us this outlet to speak about sports, a thing that all of us are passionate and we all love. And shout out to everybody watching. I know Michael just did that, but we are climbing so fast right now. Over 200. All the people who have been commenting, Jose, even though he's a Bears fan, Aaron's on, Joseph Camperman, Podcast Smitty. I mean, everybody who has joined, thank you. It's not possible without you guys. So shout out.
Bingo.
But the pick is already in.
Yep.
I know who it is, but I'm not going to say so y'all can see it in real time, but I know who it is.
It's got to be Sonny Styles. If it's in this quick, it's got to be Sonny Styles, in my opinion.
It'd be crazy not to. But did they get wide receiver? Like, I don't know. I mean, the Commanders wide receiver? No. He's already shaking his head. Maybe this must be defense. He got the Mansour Delane pick. I am super shocked that Cleveland traded, with Kansas City, and Kansas City gave up the 9. They could have gotten him at 9. There's no way.
And not only gave up the 9th pick, but also a third rounder and a
third rounder too. Exactly.
So much value out of those for a guy who you definitely, in my opinion, I don't think there's any chance you couldn't have got him at 9.
No, none whatsoever. He would have fell to 9 no matter what.
Nobody was picking
Kansas
him.
City. Wow, what are you doing here? That was a Chiefs fumble. I think that's the biggest blunder of the night right now. Kansas City Chiefs giving up draft capital for a guy they could have drafted at 9, no problem.
Yeah,
wow.
I completely agree. Especially, and I feel bad because we're not trying to say this kid's not going to be good. I think he's going to be a good NFL corner. He could be a great NFL corner, but I don't think he justifies this move.
No, because you didn't have to give up a day 2 and a day 3 pick to go up 3 spots and get him.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Not
doesn't
needed.
Justify it. No matter how good he's going to be, unless he's like a future Hall of Famer, you could have gotten more value. You could have gotten him and more value. It just doesn't make any sense. No matter, even if he's a Hall of Famer, you could have got him at 9. So no, it just doesn't make any sense. There's no there was no benefit. Here comes the pick.
Here comes the bus.
Literally.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it fell.
Nolan
Washington
Swan.
could not have asked for the
Oh,
draft board to fall any better.
This
Like-
right in your lap. Right in your lap. Here, Washington.
Yeah.
Just take it. There you go.
Yeah. And we are
Yep.
over 300 people right now in our
Wow.
first hour.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
And first stream of Hoops and Helmets in quite a long time. So guys, I mean, thank you all so much. Please continue, like, comment, share,
Here we go.
subscribe, and here comes the pick.
Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State.
Jason, you are ahead, my friend. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're watching, but you're
Oh
doing
yeah,
it.
no, I got my guys are up. Well, Aikman's ahead of all of us, so he's got the magic bullet right there. He's got insider information. He's got somebody at the draft right now feeding him.
Jason, you're going to be happy at what happens at pick number 8 with
It'd
the
be
New
interesting.
Orleans Saints.
Oh
You're
my
going to
goodness.
like it. You're going to like it because
Do they-
it's going to dodge. You're going to
Hey,
dodge a bullet,
Aikman.
my friend.
Aitman, who's your insider?
Yeah,
to
he's
all
got
this?
somebody in. He's got somebody like Roger Goodell is on his speed. He's got something going on over there because he's like
Spoilers.
leaps and bounds. He already knows who's picking day 2. Like, what's going on over there, Aikman? What do you got going on?
Hey, who are the Packers getting, Aikman?
Another wide receiver.
I don't know. They might call Dallas and say, "Hey, Jerry, can we have George Pickens since you like to trade to us?"
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we'll give you. Well, I guess who are we gonna even give them? We don't want George Pickens. Chris,
Oh, wow.
Saints pick is already in. Who's it gonna be?
I mean, they need about everything, so that's a loaded.
Yeah, true.
Hello?
You're
Does-
They
frozen.
need about
I
everything.
agree.
It's a loaded question. I mean, I would say Caleb Downs.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
really?
gonna be interesting. I would see Downs too on this too. Yeah.
Does Chris
in my
Olave
opinion-
need a running mate?
True. In my opinion.
Oh,
where
do they
you
take
need
Chicken Nugget?
everything-
They take Tyson Chicken Nugget there at 8. Take him. Injury prone. He can go play in the bayou. Get some gumbo.
Jason, they got Tyson
Listen.
chicken up where you live. Thought that was a
Yeah.
North Carolina thing.
No, man, we got Tyson chicken up here. Yeah, man, go to Costco. We got that all up in here. So, but no, I can't believe it, man. Aikman, what a pick. I mean, Sonny
Oh,
Styles. I mean,
beautiful.
I love Reese, but I really like Sonny. I think that's gonna
Washington is
suck
building
because he's in the
something here,
East.
man. They've already got an amazing. They've already got, in my opinion, the beginnings of a great offense. But this is the beginning. I mean, you can build a defense around this guy. You can build a whole defense around this guy at linebacker. So, I mean,
Kind
I
of
think they're
feels like
building something that's gonna be
LeVar
pretty special.
Arrington vibe with him too. LeVar Arrington,
And we
looked a bit
signed
like-
Leo Chenal from Kansas
Yeah.
City in free agency. So
Right.
now I'm picturing a linebacking duo of Leo Chenal and Sonny Styles. And this is why I want Bobby Wagner on the coaching staff, simply because he can help develop linebackers. I mean, we've kind of left it as an
Wow.
open-ended deal for him. If he wants to come back, he won't play as much, but will be a presence in that room. I would love for Bobby to come back for a veteran minimum, just to have him in the room with Sonny Styles and Leo Chenal, guys we've added at linebacker, because even Kalavion Chason, because he can kind of be that hybrid outside linebacker edge. I mean, I'm feeling so much better about the linebacking core than I did last year.
Yeah, I like that. George Gallo, Washington, New Orleans, both can use corners. That's true. Man, New Orleans needs help all over the board. So we're going to see what happens there. Let's see here. As Washington fans,
They
last
believe
time
in
they-
Tyler Shuck.
Is
By the
that
way,
Dwayne
New Orleans.
Is that Dwayne Haskins? Callback?
Exactly.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
May he rest in peace. By the
Yes,
way, May
rest
he
in peace.
R.I.P.
Yep. So, but
And
thank you for shouting out, George. Yeah, I
Thank
appreciate
you
you,
for
man.
joining us.
Yeah,
If this is your
absolutely.
first time joining us, throw us a subscribe. We talk all sports throughout the week. We'll be covering a lot of the stuff that happens. Over 400 of you joining us. So if you're a new sub, drop a comment. We'll shout you on the show. We appreciate you so much for watching. Oh, it was a Chase Young.
Chase Young.
callback.
Chase Young.
Also,
Wow.
Oh.
So maybe
Chase
this won't
Young.
work out.
Wow. So shout out. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But that's going to, for the NFC East, I did not want to see that pick. I wanted to see you grab a wide receiver. I did not want to see Sonny go to you guys. So that hurts a little bit here.
Yeah,
as the
but
NFC East.
Michael, as a Cowboys fan, you just got Sonny Styles going to Washington. You just got Orville Reese going to the Giants. I'm just saying. I mean, you're gonna be playing some amazing defenders for the next decade plus. So, how are you feeling about that, George? Did y'all hear that Chase wants to come back to Washington? I did not hear that. I'm not a big Chase Young guy anymore, so I mean, I don't. That doesn't really make me feel any type of way.
It may be Jorge. Who knows? It may be Jorge. Mr. Gallo, I'm not afraid of Chase Young. I'm not afraid of Sonny Styles. I'm not afraid of Arvell Reese. Jason's a Giants fan. Aitman's a Washington fan. They know good as anybody. It doesn't matter who they're drafting in the top 10. They'll be drafting in the top 10 for the next 5 to 10 years. I'm okay.
And the Cowboys will be right there with us because I don't see any trophies on that case that are shiny and new. A lot of them Cowboys trophies are a little getting a little tarnished there because they've 30, 40 years now. What do we got going on here in Dallas?
It's like 30, but
Washington did make it back to the NFC Championship game as bad as we've been for 25 years.
Yeah.
Before
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty bad when we beat y'all back to an NFC Championship game as bad as we've been.
But all I know is the NFC East is going to be back. Right now, if you looked at that, NFC West was the big winner last year with the Seahawks and the I'm losing myself here with the Seahawks and the 49ers. That division was huge. So now we've got the NFC, the beasts of the East are back. We're going to be stronger than ever. So shout out to the NFC East and shout out to everybody watching here. We do appreciate y'all joining us here on the Boom Broadcasting Network, man. This is awesome. So far, lots of shocks this early in the draft, starting off with that second pick with Love going to the Cardinals, man, was crazy. And then Tate going to Tennessee, and then it just went down and kept spiraling from there. So awesome time. So far, great night here on Boom Broadcasting goes, guys. We appreciate you. Hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy watching this with us here. Again, don't be afraid to drop us a comment and let us know what you think. Saints pick, we've been waiting for this. Who do you think they go? Do they go Downs? Do they go Tyson? Did they go get an offensive lineman? Tyler Shuck, is he the answer in Nollins? Do they go out and try
Tyler Shuck showed me something last year. Tyler Shuck showed me something.
Well,
there are a lot of quarterbacks who went out there and showed me nothing. JJ McCarthy showed me nothing. Shador Sanders showed me a little bit, but who showed me something was Tyler Shuck. So, look, in my opinion, when your team needs everything, you go draft in the trenches. So I think you go offensive lineman here. I just think that it's the building block. Here comes Roger Goodell. So let's see what this pick is.
This is going to be crazy. I think this is going to be an interesting pick here.
I think it's going to be Tyson. I think that's what Aikman was hinting at earlier.
Yeah, chicken nugget. I don't know. Let's see here.
I just think that would be a terrible, terrible pick.
Yeah, they need so much. It's like, what do you do when you need so much?
Don't draft a receiver who's always hurt. I mean, I just think that's terrible. Organization. That's what I'm talking about. There are times when, and I guess I shouldn't be saying this because I'm sitting on my couch too, Jason, but there are just organizations who I just think are so incompetent and they just don't understand how to build a football team. So, I mean, this is why the Saints are picking 8, and we'll probably see him here next year too.
I'm really curious to what Cleveland does here. Offensive linemen, do they go out and take another wide receiver to because Jerry Judy's not getting any younger. I mean, they were okay at running back, and I think that's the interesting part of all this that's going on is there's not a lot of running backs. There's not a lot of quarterbacks for guys to trade up. So for some of these guys to be picked right now is they're going for it all. Like normally when you have a draft like this, you see offensive linemen go a lot. So we haven't seen an offensive lineman yet.
Especially,
I think you will hear.
Good one.
I think you'll see an offensive lineman go.
You think
go
we'll see some
Cleveland.
here at Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, I think this starts. I think your first offensive lineman comes off the board here.
Olavega?
I think
Olavega?
it's either Monroe Freeling or Spencer Fano, the tackle out of Utah. I think it's one of the two here.
Right, and they definitely need a help. But man,
I would go him.
Cleveland needs left tackle. You've got Monroe Freeland, who is definitely a left tackle. Spencer Fano, some people think right tackle. There is some that think left. It's kind of a mixed match back and forth.
right.
So it's just whichever one Cleveland feels like is the best fit overall in their offensive scheme. So and by the way, I'm just going to say this. Does this put Caleb Downs in the Giants' lap at 10?
I sure hope it does. You talk about a defensive draft win.
Yeah.
I sure hope it does, but this is going to be interesting because do they value another one of these top wide receivers more than that, or does Harbaugh stick to, go defense, wins championships? My man, Mr. Gallo, 1699, do you think we'll see a second-round QB1 this year, one QB this year? I don't know. That's going to be tough. What do you think, Aikman? You got your finger on the pulse right now.
Okay, say the question one more time for me, Jason. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you think we'll see a second round one QB this year?
Does that mean like a QB1, like a quarterback who?
I think quarterback one. I think someone that's QB1, like second round, he's going to start. Is what I'm gathering. If we're incorrect,
not from day one, I don't think. Not out of this quarterback crop.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, I think he's got it here. A second QB pick. I'm sorry, second QB picked at first. I still think Ty goes. I think you're going to see.
Okay. I misunderstood your question.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, he reiterated here, Mr. Gallo, kind of tightened it up here for us. But I still think you're going to see Miami. I would not be surprised to see Arizona try to come back into here. I still think you're going to see Ty Simpson get drafted in this first round. I think just because it is such a weak quarterback class, you got to swoop in and get somebody. And there are some quarterback-starved teams out there. You look at Miami, you look at Arizona, you look at Pittsburgh. So right now, I would not be surprised to see someone swoop in and take him first round. Just because who else is left after him?
That's the Browns
it.
pick is already in. Chris, you're a fellow AFC Northie, so who do you think they pick here, and what do you hope they do instead?
This is a really weird spot. And by the way, shout out to Jorge Pico de Gallo, for all the comments here. He was my roommate, really good guy. Shout out to him. Really an interesting kind of position the Browns are in here. Offensive line, obviously a need. Do you want to build around Shedeur Sanders? Do you really want to build his confidence? Wouldn't surprise me if they went like Monroe Fielding, something like that, or Ione at a Penn State, a guard, just kind of building the offensive line. Malachi Lemon as well is one of the wide receivers that's still available, obviously. So Jordan Tyson go off the board. So it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I mean, like Jason said, Jerry Jeudy kind of getting up there that to build some confidence. They're okay at running back. Offensive line, wide receiver would be good. On the defensive end of the ball, that's the way the AFC North drafts. That's pretty common. So we will see here as Goodell begins his process, slow walk up to the podium.
Spencer Fano. So they do go
Okay.
offensive tackle out of Utah. Wow.
Good pick. Good pick.
So
I mean,
good pick for them. They needed the offensive line help. Man, Giants, you cannot mess this number 10 pick up. But what a pick here for Cleveland.
Are you going to be upset if they pick somebody other than Caleb Downs?
Well, this is going to be interesting. There are some really good guys out there. I mean, I could see if they go wide receiver here, I would not hate that because I know Malachi Lemon is out there. I like Concepcion. I probably would hate offensive line because going back-to-back offensive line would drive me nuts, but I would not be surprised if they do it because, of course, Jackson Dart is your franchise quarterback, so you have to protect him. So very, very interesting if they do that. He's already prognosticating here, Mr. Aikman. We love it.
The pick is already in as we are.
They knew who they wanted. They knew who they wanted.
Just amazing. They absolutely did. And I think it's Downs. I think that's a pretty simple pick at this point.
Or do they take your Georgia boy? I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Do they take the guy from Georgia here?
I'm hoping Lemons falls to 11 to Miami, a.k.a. the pseudo Green Bay Packers. I guess I'm a Miami
Here we
fan
go.
now because I really hope that they do well, and I hope they get Lemons for Malik. Here we go, though. Who's it going to be?
Maganoa, Francis Maganoa, offensive tackle from Miami. Very interesting. Not the sexiest pick in the world. I understand why they did it. We definitely have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. We've been trying for years, even when Eli was back there, to have a good offensive line. They've paid money for him, and it never worked out. They've drafted. It's never worked out. So this is an interesting pick for the Giants. For 2 picks in the top 10, you get a stud, linebacker, and then in Reese, and now you get a pretty stud offensive tackle. So I'm not hating it. It's got to grow on me a little bit. I need to see results on that offensive line. I would have liked to seen a wide receiver here, but there are some really good wide receivers in this draft, so I can see why they kind of dropped back a little bit and said, all right, let's make sure Jackson Dart is protected back there. So let's make sure Cam Scatterboo has running lanes to go through, and the only way you can do that is with offensive line. So
the Dallas Cowboys just traded up with the Miami Dolphins to
shut up. Wow.
So
did they trade George Pickens to the Dolphins?
It makes too much sense for what Dallas has done right here.
I mean, George Pickens for the 11th pick. Cowboys have done crazy things, so
wow.
I really want to see George Pickens with.
So do Cowboys pick Downs here?
That's what I think they're going to do.
I think they go Downs? You get the top guy, and I mean that would be a heck of a steal for the Cowboys to jump in here.
And they got back-to-back picks, so I think you got to go Downs with one of them. And
Miami's getting 12.
Miami's getting 12. So they just leapfrogged them. They just leapfrogged them.
Traded it straight up.
Yeah, they leapfrogged them here. It'd be interesting to see the results of that and what they had to give up to jump up one spot. But again, this is crazy because I want to really see who the Cowboys pick. Because same thing with the Chiefs. I mean, they didn't need to trade. They could have stayed back and got their guy at 9. They didn't need to give up any capital.
They were scared to death that Miami was going to take Downs.
I think they were. I absolutely think they were.
No, I don't think so. Miami needs so much. They need wide receiver help. They need offensive line help.
I was going to say, give Malik Willis a chance. Give Malik Willis a chance.
Yeah, so I mean, I would have thought something.
He is an elite sack evasionist. He has elite mobility. So he doesn't need the cleanest pockets to get around. He can throw on the move. He can get out and scramble. I think they were terrified of them picking Downs here. I think at 12, they're probably going to go Lemons and get a wide receiver.
Shout out
Yeah.
Aaron giving us some comments here, man. Keeping Dart upright here.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys
Kumar
gave-
100. The Dolphins get down. I'm gonna cry. So Kumar, no crying here. We don't cry on the show, man. But it's okay.
Did
It's Downs 100%.
Shout out to Shank there.
Yeah.
did the Cowboys just
He's a
trade up?
Jets fan. You got to
Yes,
be
they
nice to him.
did.
He's a Jets fan.
Welcome back, Prez. The Cowboys have traded up to number 11.
Oh my gosh!
177 and 180 is what they gave up to switch 11 and 12 with the Dolphins.
That's not bad.
177 and 180. Not too bad.
That's
I mean,
not
I think
bad.
there's a lot of value that you can find at those picks, but if you're getting a guy who you're really confident in, like Caleb Downs, I think that's a good trade.
Yeah,
but it's just
that's
one
better.
spot.
Yeah, but that's better than what Kansas City did. A third, Kansas City, really? To me, a third is better value. One spot, they obviously were afraid. They wanted to get who they wanted. So,
Yeah, they were
Mr. Davis, tell us, man, what do you think, man? Do you think they go Downs here, or what do you think the Cowboys did to jump up to get that pick, man, to steal it from Miami?
I feel like they must have heard, like, okay, they're definitely gonna, have another suitor, and so Miami was like, hey, what will you offer us? For Dallas to move up just one pick, I feel like they're tied to somebody specifically. Caleb Downs is obviously the best defensive player available right now. He has a safety. He has great instincts. I feel like he's also versatile too. And the Cowboys have always valued versatility. But the fact that Caleb Downs is here and Ruben Bain is here, it means Dallas loved one over the other by a large, large margin. I mean, because you would have had one player go off the board, you have been totally okay with the other person.
Right.
So to me, like, whoever they picked, Will McClay has done an incredible job drafting in recent years. I don't want to be like everybody else, but like my gut instinct is it's Caleb Downs. But man, okay, this is
yeah. I mean, when a pick is that obvious, it's okay to be like everybody else. It's got to be Caleb Downs, and I think this is going to be. You're probably going to understand this the most, Jason. If we remember back to, I think, 2019 when Jason Tatum and Markel Fultz and Lonzo Ball were drafted,
right.
Jason Tatum, the Celtics had the number one pick, and they traded back to third and gave it to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia picked Markel Fultz. Lakers got Lonzo, and the Celtics got Jason Tatum. Well, later they came out and said, we got the guy. We were going to draft Jason Tatum at number 1 or number 3. It didn't matter. So I think that Miami just kind of did the same thing with Dallas. They said, we'll make this trade with you and we'll get a little bit extra. We know who we're going to pick and we know who you're going to pick. So I don't think they would have made this trade if they were worried that their guy was going to get taken by the Cowboys. I think that they know who the Cowboys are going to take. They know who they are going to take, and this was just a safe play for them.
Right. I could see the Dolphins going wide receiver here with Lemon, and then Downs going to the Cowboys. If that happens, man, what a gift for the Dallas Cowboys. It looks like the NFC East has won this draft already.
Yeah,
so
really.
One thing that stands out to me is if Dallas really feels more valuable with Caleb Downs than Ruben Bain, are other people losing their interest in Ruben Bain with some of the stuff that came out pre-draft? Like, could Ruben Bain be that name that drops out of the first round? We've seen it before.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
I think the short arms is a real deal with a lot of NFL teams. Like, whether some people will say don't believe everything you hear, I truly believe with NFL scouts and with NFL GMs, with edge rushers and defensive linemen, the short arms is a legit concern.
Absolutely. I mean, we just saw it last. Here we go. Who's it going to be?
Smart pick. The obvious pick.
Obvious pick. I mean, who else? You had to. It was the easiest pick really maybe all draft other than Mendoza at 1. But I want to go back. We'll talk about this in a second. I want to go back to what you were just saying, Aikman, about the small arms. We just saw this. I can't even remember his name either, but the guard out of Michigan last year, who I think it was the guy out of Michigan who had the short arms as well, and he just had a really down year compared to what everybody thought that he was going to be. So, um, yeah, I think that this was a safe pick, and I do think Ruben Bain is going to drop. Chris, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's a reason that he has dropped here. I mean, he is, the short arms, as an edge rusher is obviously really challenging. Yeah, and there's definitely a reason. There's definitely a reason that he did. I felt actually going into this draft that he was going to be the guy that was going to kind of fall off just with everything leading into the draft. But one thing I will say, Miami already got the pick in. So, and I'm, it's they're clearly a lot more decisive than I am because I was not sure where Miami was going to go.
You don't think Miami stays at home with the college prospect and they entertain the idea of Ruben Bain here, do you?
That's a possibility too.
I really hope not. I don't think so. Jeff Hafley is a defensive mastermind. He's got a lot of say in where this pick is going. I'm sure. I mean, he has to. So I think if he picks Ruben Bain, then I'm sold on Ruben Bain. It really is as simple as that. I think Jeff Hafley is that smart of a defensive coach that he's not going to pick a defensive player who he doesn't have supreme confidence in.
And shout out, I believe Mom or somebody else has the name Dallas got Caleb Downs. Shout out, Mom. I love you, Mom. Doing the whole podcast thing. And another Jeremy Tunsil or Laramie Tunsil story. There's always one player who's talented enough to be a top 5 pick who drops to the second round or even later. And we got Shan Kumar. Just let me see Lemon go to the Jets, saying rest happily. If this is your first time joining us and you haven't, subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. It's free. Tell us you did so in the comments and we can give you a shout out live on air. We do a lot of sports coverage, not just for the NFL draft, but everywhere. But as a Cowboys fan, I'm pretty happy with this Caleb Downs pick. He's very versatile, and we need dudes on defense.
How can you not be happy with that, man? Again, we got NFC East just got 3 defensive studs.
All from Ohio State.
All from Ohio State. They grow them there in Ohio.
Especially, Michael, after how bad your pass defense was last year. I mean, it was like one of the worst in history. Caleb Downs, you can plug in here, and he immediately gives you a massive boost there because like you said, he's so versatile. So yeah, I think that is just a perfect fit.
Guys, remember when I told you there's a window behind me that I may go through?
No, don't tell me.
It's not here. It's not here. It's not here, but it's close. It's not here, but it's close.
Is he going to the Rams? How are you getting this information? Where?
He's got something going on, man. He got CIA information right now.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, I'm just going to keep doing this all night long. We are at over 800 people watching right now, and we're not even an hour and a half in. It's pick 12. This is genuinely blowing my mind. So once again, just thank every single person, every single one of you out there who are watching. This is it's truly crazy. So thank you so much. Here comes the pick. Let's see who it's going to be.
Oh,
wow.
Whoa.
A lot of scouts were saying they think he's a better guard than a tackle in the NFL.
Caden Proctor, offensive tackle from Alabama. The Dolphins traded back just to get an offensive tackle?
Again, that a
I
lot of
don't know
scouts in the
about that. I
league
mean,
reportedly think is a guard in the NFL.
well, they're keeping Malik Willis safe. He's a
You
pretty
have
stout
to.
guy. So,
Yes.
Have to.
so I'm 100% with you, Aikman. I don't think if you're drafting on the offensive line, especially when you have a ton of needs as a team, and offensive line is one of them. It's always safe. I think that the best way to build a team is to start on the offensive and the defensive lines and build out from there. So I don't hate it. Like I said, I'm an honorary Miami fan now after the Green Bay Packers. So I don't hate the pick.
It's very, very interesting, and this is just setting them up for 2027 to go out and get their quarterback because now they're shoring up their offensive line and just let Malik Willis handle business back there until 2027. So that's a very interesting pick. Rams pick is in already. These picks are coming fast and furious, guys. Thank you all for joining us.
Or they draft Ty Simpson at 30.
I would not be surprised that happens. I would not be surprised.
Jorge saying you can't have the Dolphins QB getting their head hit too many times. Very, very true. You cannot have another Tua in Miami or in a city like this catch fire. I mean, that would be pretty terrible.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not alone when it comes to Cowboy fans here on the show.
He brought another one?
I brought another one.
Another one? He's loaded.
Can I do that even though I'm not the host? Can I bring another Cowboys fan on?
Of course you can. You're the president. You can do whatever you want, baby.
All right.
Wow. All right, Luke.
Good seeing you. He was on
What's
our
happening?
coverage. He was on our coverage last year with the NFL draft, and I got to meet him for the first time there and heard he was a Cowboys fan. I'm like, you're welcome on anytime, man. Like, of course, we can't do a draft coverage without you now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Luke, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, glad to be here.
You just saw the Cowboys pick Caleb Downs. We all liked it here. What did you think about it?
Oh, I'm loving it. It is absolutely the perfect pick. I think the only pick that arguably could have been better is if we took Sonny Styles, but he got taken before Downs. So I am 100% happy.
And
the heck of a consolation prize.
I asked Michael the same question, but now you've got Sonny Styles, you've got Orville Reese in that division. Are you a little nervous going up against these amazing or potentially amazing future Hall of Fame players?
Not super scared. I mean, we just spent the last 3 drafts picking, O-lines with the name Tyler in them. So, we should be able to hold up against their defense. The main thing was getting our defense to any semblance of an actual competent defense, which we're working on. So, not super scared.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Guys, if you're watching on TV, look who's smiling right now.
Ty Simpson. Don't tell me the Rams pick Stafford's heir apparent is going to be Ty Simpson. I
mean, I guess there's worse places a quarterback could go than sit behind Matt Stafford and Sean McVay.
The Sean McVay effect.
Guys, can I just say I think it's a good pick. I think it's a good pick. I think sitting behind Matt.
It's better than Arizona or the Jets for him. He has a chance to actually learn instead of being thrown out there to get slaughtered.
But to pick him at 13,
there's no better teacher. The Rams have no holes though. They have no holes. They don't need offensive line. They don't.
Every team has a hole. I mean, they can use another wide receiver. They can use a tight end. You can always use an offensive line.
I think that Matthew Stafford is gone in a year or two. I don't think that there's a better teacher, a better mentor in the NFL right now than Matthew Stafford. So yeah, I think that this could end up being a really, really good pick, especially, and you got Sean McVay as the coach. He is so set up for success. It's not even funny. Puka as your franchise wide receiver 1 for years to come. Are you kidding me? You've got that amazing defense. I mean, there is no better scenario for a
I
quarterback.
still think you go wide receiver, you get Lemon, you add him to Davis and Puka, you get a three-headed monster there, wide receiver. I don't know if you pick Ty Simpson this high in the draft. To me, I think there's just so much more value that's out there.
If Lemon went to
I will
LA,
say,
go ahead, yeah.
Go ahead. I mean, I think it's kind of high, but if you look just it's Jets at 16. So you're thinking maybe, if we don't get him here, do we have to trade back into the second or trade back and hope we get him? So if they really are dead set on him, I don't mind it because you have a team that could take him in the Jets right behind you.
Very, very true. Chris, you have any thoughts on this pick for the Rams?
It wouldn't surprise me if they did go Ty Simpson here. I mean, simply because we've already kind of touched on the main points of how this would be genuinely a perfect setup for a not so NFL ready quarterback, as I talked about when we were talking about potentially Ty Simpson to the Steelers. But at the same time, I mean, I think the Rams, there are a lot of team needs going into this draft for them simply because that division is really good. I mean, you have the reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, you have the San Francisco 49ers, and you have an Arizona Cardinals team that's also really trying to build there. So it wouldn't be the worst idea, I think, to maybe go, you clearly still have more time with Matthew Stafford. Maybe you go Monroe Fielding here. Maybe you can add to the secondary too, which has been really good. The whole Rams defense has been really good, going with like a Jermon McCoy, Manuel McNeil-Warren, or even Ruben Bain there, who's been falling pretty recently. I think going for a quarterback here is a little bit.
That's a stretch.
It's a stretch in the first round. You still have time with Matt Stafford. And one final note I want to make is they are making Pittsburgh look a lot more peaceful on TV, especially the Fort Pitt. They just showed the Fort Pitt and the Roberto Clemente Bridge. It is not that peaceful on a game day, little in the NFL draft. So I do not know what AI voodoo magic they're using. It is crazy there right now, I'm sure. For all my guys like Jorge and Shank who have been to Pittsburgh multiple times, my WVU guys, shout out Mountaineers, they definitely know that Pittsburgh is not like that. Bridge traffic is crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, you see, I'm unable to put these comments on the screen for some reason.
I got you.
Jorge Gallo saying, take a page out of Green Bay's book. They've done it twice at this point. You draft a first-round guy, and you develop him behind a Hall of Famer, and I think that's what the Rams are doing.
Here we go.
Roger Goodell up to the stage. So.
Pick is in. Ty Simpson, wow.
Yeah.
Quarterback, Alabama, wow.
AJ
I think it makes sense. I just think it makes sense, just like Jorge saying. It worked for Green Bay twice in a row. I think that they're just taking a page out of their book and they're going to develop a quarterback. So, I'm not terribly mad at it.
If he plays this year, the Rams are out of the playoff race. Something bad has happened. Stafford's gotten hurt, or something has seriously went wrong if Ty Simpson starts a meaningful game in 2026-27.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's not the plan. That's not the point of what they're doing. I think they have no intention of starting him here. I think that they're hoping they get 2 more years out of Stafford, this one and next one, and then they can start him in 2027 or 2028. I guess that would be wow.
But do you see Ty Simpson as a franchise quarterback? I mean, I could see where he can be developed. You don't have to start him. You sit him in the back. You give him a clipboard. You probably make him QB3. But is he worth top 13 pick in this draft? I mean, I would have said first round, but for him to be a top 13 pick, to me seems there's a lot. You're really hoping that this kid has something in him, but I don't know. I mean, do you guys think he was really Luke? What is your thoughts, man, here on this pick with Ty Simpson here at 13?
Yeah, I think there's always going to be a premium on quarterbacks. You'll always see teams reach 4 quarterbacks at the top 15, top 10 kind of pick range. However, I I don't exactly agree that this is a reach. I think he's someone that can definitely benefit, like others have said, from sitting for a year or two behind a potential probably Hall of Fame quarterback in Matthew Stafford. I didn't like the Jordan Love pick when it first happened for the Packers. I thought it was a terrible pick. And then we see he's, a pretty daggone good quarterback for them now after he got to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. I could see this working out the same way. You question it and you're like, I don't know. But he gets a year or two and he really excels when Stafford, finally hangs it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I only have one problem with what you said there, Chris, and it's that you said Jordan Love's a pretty doggone good quarterback and not, top-notch quarterback in the league. But other than that, I think you're spot on, and that's why to me it makes sense. This Ravens pick is already in. But, Chris, I want to ask you also first, just got to, say it again. We are over 1,000 viewers at this point. We jumped 100 viewers in the matter of a minute. So, I mean, this is just genuinely out of this world. Thank you guys so much for liking, for sharing, for commenting, for interacting. If you're liking this, subscribe. You'll see all of these guys and more all the time if you do. You got Chris with his dugout debrief. Michael with Out of Pocket. You got Jason with Three from Deep. I mean, this is truly amazing. And then Hoops and Helmets. So guys, just continue to like and comment and subscribe, please. It would mean the absolute world. Here we go. The other co-host of Hoops and Helmets, my good friend Aaron Schneider. Aaron, how are you?
Carson, I'm doing fantastic. And yeah, I have been off my phone for about an hour and a half. So big shout out to y'all for absolutely killing it. I am incredibly happy with how this show is doing, and much huge shout out to you, Jason, for filling in co-hosting duties for me, and massive shout out to Carson as well for holding it down as always.
Appreciate you, man. I'm glad to have you here. But Aaron, let's get your thoughts. What do you think so far when you look at these first 13 picks? Is there one that just made your jaw drop, or where are you sitting right now with what we have witnessed so far with these first 13 picks?
Well, I caught the tail end of Luke's spiel about the Rams taking Ty Simpson. For me, the Rams are about the only team who could really afford to spend their first round pick on a quarterback like Ty Simpson. I agree with Luke. Stafford's a future Hall of Famer. I think there isn't a better quarterback for Simpson to learn behind for a couple of seasons. Yes, a lot of people don't exactly have a first round grade on him, but I still like that pick. They're trying to think long term, set themselves up for a few years down the road when Stafford does inevitably retire. Because
I hate to cut you off, Aaron, but Gazelle's at the podium.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
Layup pick for the Ravens here.
Wow. Yep. Vega.
I mean, for me, he was the best guard in the draft. I think this was a no-brainer. They're taking best offensive lineman available at 14, and Vega Ione was that player. I mean, he's fantastic. Jason and I talked about him on the Gridiron Address on Sunday. I'm a big fan of his. Aikman, I'll throw it to you. You said it was a no-brainer as well. I want to get your thoughts on this pick for Baltimore.
Well, I mean, when you lose Tyler Linderbaum, you've got to address the interior of the offensive line. And why not get the best interior offensive lineman in the NFL draft? I mean, this is a guy that, honestly, you're staring down the barrel of a decade-plus starter in the interior of an offensive line easily with Vega Ioane from Penn State. And it was just an easy pick. It's a smart pick. Again, I'll say it again multiple times throughout the night. You can never have too many good offensive linemen. I know you got Lamar, the mobility. He can make up for a less than stellar line. But I don't care. You can never have too many good offensive linemen. This was a smart pick by Baltimore, and it makes this Tampa Bay pick here, because Tampa's got a few different ways they can go. It makes this Tampa Bay pick very interesting. We've already seen one NFC South team make a interesting pick tonight with the Saints and Jordan Tyson. So now we're going to see what Tampa Bay brings to the party.
And I am seeing that their pick is already in. In fact, they They sprinted to the podium with this one. Who do we think they're taking here? Are they taking Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon?
My man Kumar 100 thinks they're taking Lemon, which that would not be a hateful pick. They can use some wide receiver help there in New York. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Do the Jets keep jetting and pick an offensive lineman, or do they go for some offensive firepower?
I think Tampa Bay ends a draft fall on the night. Look at your board and who has failed to a degree when you look at the case of an overall ranking.
Casey Concepcion?
No. Go defense.
Defense? Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'd agree.
I'm still
I think so too. You have to.
I think Ruben Bain is in play here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. What about Peter Woods there from Clemson? I think he's pretty top ranked too. So I mean, you got some guys.
If you take Peter Woods ahead of Ruben Bain, that's the kind of thing that could get a GM fired in about 2 years.
Really?
I think.
Wow.
I would go ahead and take Ruben Bain here. I mean, if you're Tampa, you got to do something. Your defense was not very good last year.
Yeah,
I mean,
your offense is good. So keep going, Aikman. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I agree.
No, you're good. But you have Vita Vea on the inside. If Ruben Bain allows you to have a guy that maybe is a 5 technique to that edge guy that they need to balance from the rush that they have on the inside.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I think their offense in general is pretty much set. You got Bucky Irving, you got quarterback, you got the offensive line, you got Ibuka. So, I mean, they could go another wide receiver here now that they lost Mike Evans. But I agree with you. I think defense has to be the main concern here.
Also, I think the board is falling well if you're a Carolina Panthers fan. I know we're going to get a lot of Carolina Panthers people as we get closer to this pick. I swear, man, Kenyon Sadiq is sitting right there. And if you're Dan Morgan in Charlotte right now, you are praying because Kenyon Sadiq is getting one pick closer to you as it comes.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think Buccaneers take a tight end either here, too.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know I don't think the Jets do it. I mean, what? No. Do you think the Jets even entertain it at 16?
They got their franchise tight end, Tyler Conklin. What do you mean? Of course not.
Well,
come on. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Tyler Conklin on this show. Come on. What are you doing?
Hey, anytime I get
I'm just for having good tight ends. Austin Safarian Jenkins, bring that back.
But Luke, we haven't heard from you. Who do you think is coming in for these Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I would have to go with what seems like the consensus and say Ruben Bain. I think he's from Miami, kind of a hometown guy. You need a lot of help on that defense. I think this is once you get into the kind of later rounds, the 2 to 3, 4, still a lot of offensive weapons, particularly like running back and wide receiver that Bucs can pick up. So I think you go best player available and defensive hometown guy, make it easier on yourself and pick Ruben Bain Jr.
Yeah, I think so too. It's also just going to make your fans happy, like you said, hometown guy. Chris, we were all worried about, the short arms. Do you think that is as much of a concern as we're making it? And do you think it's like still a risk worth making at this pick at number 15?
I think at 15, it's all right. I mean, I think it played enough of a factor early on. That's clearly why he didn't go in the top 5. I know initially, especially going into this, he was projected in that top 5, top 8 range. But I think now that we're down here at about 15 or so, this is where it starts to be like, it's a risk you're willing to take. Tampa, not really in a spot, I think, where they need absolutely everything. Wide receiver would be a bit of a reach, but Ruben Bain makes the most sense here.
Yeah, I think so. And here comes Goodell, taking in the spotlight, taking his time getting to the podium. But here we go.
I mean, Carson, I do think you might be lagging a little bit behind because I do see the pick already.
Yep.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Disney Plus.
We got shout it out here, Aaron. Shout it out.
I'm assuming you don't care if we spoil it for you.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, they
I
took
see it now. I
Van
see it
Jr.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chris
ESPN
has
actually
been
broke
ahead
it
this
before
whole
the
time,
pick.
and Chris has been ahead this whole time, and Aikman's been shouting him out 3 picks ahead. So, we can just go ahead and shout it out as we see it. But yeah, I think this is the right pick here. I just think it makes the most sense. Yeah, he's got the short arms, but I agree with you, Chris. What you were saying, it's at 15, you're okay with taking that risk.
I wouldn't even call it that much of a risk, honestly, because yeah, he has shorter arms, but he makes up for it by being an incredibly powerful rusher.
Yeah. And I mean, you can see on the screen here these highlights. I mean, he is just bulldozing guys who are bigger than him on his way to the quarterback. I mean, he really is. He is explosive. He is powerful. He is strong. He is small, but I think I agree with you. He makes up for that in a lot of different areas. So
Jets got that pick in already here, too, guys. Do you think they go offensive weapon? Do you see Sadiq? Do you see Lemon coming off the board? Do they go offensive line and hoping to get a quarterback in 2027? Is this going to be another setup? I'm sure there's a lot of teams out there are kind of shocked that Simpson already went to the Rams, and now you really fall back to that 3rd or 4th round to start picking some of these other QBs up. So it'd be interesting to see. My man Kumar 100 thinks it's Lemon. I think so too.
I think that would make sense too. But if I were the Jets, I would take an offensive lineman. I've just already told you my philosophy a few times now.
Right.
When you have a bunch of needs and you're not going to be competitive, I would just go ahead and take a offensive lineman, which is why I'm kind of surprised by Detroit here. That's a big need for them, especially when you've got a quarterback like Jared Cook who can't play when he's under pressure. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't trade up. I thought if anybody was going to, it was going to be Detroit, but they have hung tight here at 17. So I guess they're not too worried about who they're going to be able to get there.
I think Detroit goes defense. I think they really need to shore up the defense. The offense is still good. Maybe offensive line too, but I think Detroit defense, Jets. I'm interested in this Jets pick right now.
Me too. I'm inclined to believe that they'll go Lemon, but I think Monroe Freeland wouldn't be a bad shout either. And Carson, to your point, I think Detroit's staying put because there are still some absolutely phenomenal offensive line prospects that are going to be available. Yeah. So why would they give up the draft capital and miss out on potentially bolstering that defense with some mid-round picks when you're still going to get a great guy like Caleb Lomu's still going to be there, Blake Miller, right. Jennings Dunker, Maxie Honashore.
Yeah.
These are all great players. And welcome back, Luke. Luke, what do you have the Jets doing here?
Yeah, they have a lot of options available to them. I'm going to make a maybe bold guess, say Ian Sadiq's not going to have to change too much of his wardrobe in terms of colors.
Okay, and well, it looks like we lost Luke, but we had just long enough for him to give his prediction. He has them going Kenyon Sadiq. Chris, I'll throw this to you first. What do you think of the Jets taking Sadiq here, potentially?
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to go Sadiq. That's a good move there. I mean, of course, an interesting situation for them overall. They're kind of at a team needs of everything as well. But so far, a pretty solid draft for them. I mean, again, like I said before, the tight end situation for the New York Jets has kind of been atrocious for all of their, modern era. Not any knock on Conklin, but I think that the best available tight end in the draft would be a good decision here. I know that
here we go.
I have him going to Carolina, but I think
there we go. That's Kenyon Sadiq, 10 tight end, trades one green for another.
I mean, it makes sense.
That's a good pick, dude, man. I mean, I hate that he's going to the Jets and his fantasy value just tanked right now for this 2026 season, unfortunately. But the Jets, that's a good pick, man. I can't, you would think they would keep on jetting, but they got themselves a stud offensive weapon. They got the best tight end in the draft. Great job, Jets. I don't think I would have said that tonight at all.
I don't think it's ever been said in the history of anything.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Shank,
mean,
but I don't think it's ever been
Sanchez
said in the history of
AFC.
life. Good job,
I
Jets.
think Sanchez getting them the AFC Championship maybe got a good job, Jets.
Or the Super Bowl win, the call, Joe Namath calling it. But
Shashank Kumar says, "Wow, I don't know if that's a happy wow or I think it's more
surprise.
of an upset. He wanted Lemon, so I think this is a good pick. I mean, you're still getting a skill position guy, so I think it's a good pick. I'm just worried because it's the Jets. I mean, are they really going to be able to use him to his full potential? He says, great tight end, but no one to throw him the ball. Yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about as well. But, I mean, if you got Lemon, you would also have no one to throw him the ball.
Exactly.
So,
I mean,
at least here you also get a guy who is going to play on the offensive line a little bit, right?
Well,
I mean, yes, but that is, I would say that's not exactly Sadiq's strong suit. Well, he's not exactly incompetent, but he's far from he doesn't excel as a blocker. He can, if necessary. He's a willing blocker, but receiving is where he shines. He is a good addition. Yes, there's no one to throw him the ball, but Brock Bowers had nobody to throw him the ball, and he still had a spectacular season. And I do think eventually they'll get somebody there. I mean, the Detroit pick is already in. That's another quick one, and something that I want to talk about as a Panthers fan is Mekhi Lemon dropping. If he's there at 19, I need to see Carolina's pick be in the blink of an eye. He's my wide receiver 2 in this draft. For him to potentially fall down to 19 would be a dream for me.
Yeah,
that would be crazy, man. You put Tet and then Lemon. Oof.
It's feasible because I really think Minnesota goes safety, and I think Detroit goes offensive line here.
I can see that. I can see that too. That's crazy.
I do want to talk about these two picks here. I am a NFC North advocate, so I think it's the greatest. I think it's the best division in football right now. So I think these are two really, really important picks. I do agree with you. I think Detroit goes offensive line, although I could see them going defense just because that's 2 years in a row now where their defense has just gotten absolutely decimated by injuries. So maybe you need to get some depth there. You need to get some, you need to get some new guys in there. But I think offensive line is probably the priority, especially when in this division you now have Micah Parsons, who's going to be coming at you 2 times a year. Barron Sorrell, I think, is going to have a great year, but, I'm a Packers fan, so of course I'm going to say that. But you just have a lot of guys who are going to pressure the ball, who are going to pressure the quarterback. So I think offensive line for the Lions is probably the biggest pick. Jason, you were about to say something?
I said that I think this is a defensive pick. The Lions, they're good. That offense is good. Their defense has always been their biggest crutch besides Mr. Campbell making bonehead calls in playoffs. But other than that, their defense needs a lot of help. So I think they go defense here, really. And pick somebody top. They need another pass rusher there. I think they can use some safety help. Just the Lions offensively put points on the board, but when the team on the other end scores more points than you do, that's a problem. So defense, they need that big time there in the North.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just shout this out real quick, and then we can keep going. We're over 1,200 people on this stream right now, guys. Absolutely incredible stuff. Broke the record for Boom Broadcasting, most viewers for a live recording. I mean, just absolutely blowing my mind. And the 3rd most watched video of Boom Broadcasting of all time, right behind Survivor Series predictions from Sean and a Drop the Mic episode. 2 incredible shows. So, go check those out. Let's keep climbing, guys. This is really, really amazing. Thank you, everybody, for who's watching.
Sorry to cut
Yeah.
you off a bit there, Carson, but how fitting is it that with our 1000th show on the
Exactly.
Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel that we reach these kinds of peaks? It is, I mean, it's because of everybody. This is a spectacular team. Jason, I love that. I wish I could have been part of the show from the start, but had a slight change in my Thursday evening plans.
My crack graphics team here. My crack graphics team. Yeah, there you go.
And
But love y'all. Thank you so much, everybody out there, man. We appreciate you, man. Much love to everybody watching. What a great night so far.
And while we're waiting on this Lions pick, like, it's incredible what you guys are doing, and we appreciate you guys all hopping on. And Luke was on a little bit earlier, and Aitman, Chris, Aaron hopping on, Jason helping, Carsen and Aaron running the show with Hoops and Helmets, and I'm excited to hear this Detroit pick. And if you guys are enjoying this, subscribe. We do content throughout the year, every single day. Again, 1,000 shows in less than 2 years. In addition to that, like, if you're enjoying it, show a friend. We're alternative programming to mainstream media, and we hope you're enjoying it because you actually get shout outs here if you comment.
Yep.
Like you said, 2 people I know personally just happening to join, and we've been pretty much shouting out everything they got to say. So thanks for them. Again, let's go Mountaineers.
Go Mountaineers,
Rollniers.
absolutely.
The real Mountaineers, though. Sorry,
no,
guys.
you said it. You said it. Rollniers, you said it.
Can't take it back, Chris.
You know the Mountaineers we're talking about.
Hey, aren't you? Your team is literally yellow and black. You have to like the Mountaineers. You have to.
Ours make more sense. Plus, we have one of the few human mascots.
Hey.
Okay, and the pick has been announced. It's Blake Miller out of Clemson.
Wow.
Tackle.
Well, they did go offensive tackle. Wow.
Makes sense.
I was right about the position. I like the player. I think there are arguably better offensive tackles available. Looks like we have Luke again. Luke, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm not cooperating.
Luke, you there?
Luke is here in spirit, as it seems.
Exactly. We can see his face, and that's important as well. So.
Oh well,
I think we're getting ready to see I think we're getting ready to see a reach coming up with Minnesota.
Uh-oh.
Who do you think they're
I
going
like
with?
to hear that. You know, I like to hear that. Now, Aikman, I don't know if we're allowed to call his guesses predictions or guesses because I'm pretty sure that he's texting Roger Goodell as we speak.
He is. He's got the insider information. There's somebody there. Aikman.
Aaron,
The CIA is going to hire you pretty soon here. I think this is a great job interview for you.
I'm going over my board here, and I'm just looking, and I mean, you've got Peter Woods sitting there, but did the Vikings go D tackle? But I don't know if it's going to be the D tackle that people think it's going to be.
They did just lose Javon Hargrave, so they could
Harrison
definitely
Smith is
bolster that up.
Yeah, Harrison Smith can't play forever.
I think Dylan Thieneman is the smart pick here.
Most definitely is the smart pick here, but I don't know that they're going to make said smart pick.
And then we've got two great picks after this.
Whoa. Aikman, how are you doing it, man?
Yeah, he's got it. Again.
Dude,
who's
his insider?
It is Caleb Banks out of Florida, defensive tackle.
I cannot believe Caleb Banks went in the top 20.
Dude,
wow.
I'm going to be honest. I can't believe he went first round.
Holy cow.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. That is a reach. I'm happy to see it as a Packers fan. But
this changes things slightly because now Carolina has two choices I did not foresee them having.
That's a pretty surprising pick. Yeah, I think that's a reach.
Carolina's pick is already
like I said, I'm happy to see it as a Packers
I
fan.
want to throw this out here if you're the Carolina Panthers. I know you signed Walker. We don't know how long it's – I mean, I don't even think Icky maybe plays this year. It's going to depend on how this injury thing looks for him. What's the chance the Panthers seeing progression with Bryce Young? Do the Panthers go offensive line here with arguably the top offensive lineman left on the board like that is still there, surprisingly to me?
I mean, look,
Monroe Freeling. Do you go
yeah.
Monroe Freeling here?
it is tempting.
He's a monster.
He would be great if they go him. I am happy with that. I think spin a wheel with Freeling, Lemon, and Thieneman now. All three of them, I didn't think were going to be here.
This is crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of these guys that are falling deep, and I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing, especially some of these big wide receiver names that are still left out there, to see some guys doing some trading up to try to get some of these guys left, because you got Lemon, Concepcion, Boston. I mean, you still got some stud wide receivers left. So maybe somebody starts doing another trade here and gets back into the mix here. So this has been a pretty interesting draft overall, guys. Is there one team or one player any of you guys really have thought that, well, man, they hit it out of the park, or man, they just they didn't address their needs? Is there anything that stands out right now?
Caleb Banks.
Yeah, I was about to say the Vikings just did that to me. Yeah, like the Vikings just took the cake.
Well, we are kind of in the now. It's what have you done for me lately? So yeah, that was that last pick, and yeah, that was an interesting, especially with so many good players ahead of him on the board. They must have just really loved him. But Minnesota has not made some of the best decisions here. Look at their quarterback that they got right now, or quarterbacks. So it's interesting what they got going on there in Minnesota. But man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So far, this draft
maybe
not
the pick
disappointed.
before. Do you think maybe the pick before with Detroit, seeing the way the offensive line boards went down? We've seen Caden Proctor go. We've seen Blake Miller go, all before Monroe Freeling. If you're Detroit, do you consider Blake Miller before Monroe Freeling a reach?
Well, there's got to be something. Like, what are we missing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
What are we missing? There's got to be something why he's falling. Yeah, there's got to be something we're missing here.
Hey, Chris, can you bring up what you just texted me? Is this true?
I'm just seeing this here on ESPN and the ESPN app as Carolina and then Philly and then the trade symbol. So again, I've not seen this on the TV yet, but this is just what I'm seeing on the ESPN app. So it could just be bugging.
Because Dallas was originally 20. Did we
It
make
says
a deal
Carolina
with
19, Philly 20, Pittsburgh 21.
Did
But
the
again, it's
Dallas
ESPN app.
Cowboys trade with Howie Roseman? Oh
Yeah, it's
my
It's the
God!
ESPN app, so you can blame them.
Is
Come
Philly
from Green
going
Bay.
to get Lemons here at 20, and are they trading?
Oh my
Wow.
God.
So the Eagles got it at 20 from Green Bay via Dallas. Is that what we're seeing here?
No.
What?
It means
No.
the Cowboys wanted Jahan Dotson from the Eagles since Washington didn't want him. Is what it means.
But do the Eagles,
leave
since
it
they're
to
getting rid
Jared.
of AJ Brown, do they want another wide receiver to make up for AJ going to New England here, possibly?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that but then also CeeDee Lamb is probably getting traded at some point as well. So
No, stop it.
or not sorry, not
Stop it.
CeeDee,
Stop trolling.
George Pickens. I'm sorry.
No, both
No.
actually the same year.
Yeah, both. I think they're both coming to Green Bay. Actually, is what I heard. Last I heard, but
We
I
only
don't
give you our
think-
defensive players.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants Pickens, though. I think he did phenomenal in
want Pickens.
Dallas. I think George Pickens doesn't get enough credit for how he kind of acted in Pittsburgh and the way he left. For what he did, especially when CD went down. I think Pickens needs to get some credit because he stepped up, played well. He didn't get in his own way. So I think he needs a little bit of shout out
at
for
the
him.
podium for this Panthers
boy.
pick.
Oh, good luck. Deep breaths, Aaron. Deep breaths, buddy.
I think I like it. It is not what I expected.
Yeah,
They do
yeah.
go Monroe Freeling.
Yeah.
He was my top offensive tackle on the board.
Good
Now
pick.
Yeah. Good steal, though, man.
I'm
You
shocked.
got
I think
This is great value. I think he's going to start over Rasheed Walker at left tackle while Iquanu is out.
definitely.
And I mean, his
Bryce
skill
Young.
set.
Bryce Young is somewhere cheering like I can get protection now.
Absolutely. Well, the Cowboys did trade the pick. This is actually real. They did trade it to the Philadelphia Eagles.
What?
I'm not
Michael.
crazy. I am not crazy. I was the first to see that.
So
Why would
Michael,
the
I gotta hear
Cowboys
your thoughts now
trade?
that it is real.
It says the Eagles will be receiving picks number 20 and a 7th rounder, while the Cowboys get the Eagles' 23rd pick, number 114 and 137.
So they
So
moved up 3 picks again. They moved up 3 picks.
yes, Philly did. Yes, and
No.
it's obvious at this point. I think we with the AJ Brown
Yeah,
trade
Lemon. Here we
on
go.
the horizon.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the Dallas Cowboys trade with the Eagles? Like, why do you?
And gift them the best wide receiver
Yeah,
on the
like-
board, might I?
No.
Oh my
no,
goodness
no.
gracious!
No. No.
Talk about kissing your sister. Good lord.
Okay,
Poor
I-
Lemon. You've got to go. You've got to go get the ball thrown to him by Jalen Hurts. I mean, I feel bad for the guy.
I remember recalling at the top of the show, like I was okay with Dallas and predicted
I'm
that we
loving
would
this.
trade
This is
down from
beautiful.
20,
Right.
but only if
Oh,
we
you
could
called it.
recoup a 2nd rounder. How do we
But
not?
not with a division team.
and
Yeah,
how do
called
we
it.
not get a 2nd round pick?
that's crazy.
Oh,
Here
that
we
was
go.
obvious. Yeah, Eagles
There you
pick is
go.
already in.
That's
It
so
was
gross.
Mackay Lemon.
I hate this.
This
Mackay
was
Lemon. Wow.
so easy.
I hate this.
I'm sorry. I just need to have a little spiel here for a second. This was a beautiful 2-pick sequence for me. The Panthers get a phenomenal pass blocker who should not have fallen to 19. And then we get to watch the Dallas Cowboys and senile Jerry Jones trade with the division rival in the Philadelphia Eagles to gift them the best wide receiver on the board. Michael, I'm having a heck of a time. I can tell you are not, though. And Luke, I hope we can hear you now,
Okay.
but what are your
Okay,
thoughts
Michael.
on this?
Can we just zoom in on his face?
Can you
please?
hear me?
I mean, that face. That was
We can
amazing.
hear you, but you're not moving.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna use all the rage and spite and hatred in my body for my terrible internet and terrible Jerry Jones. I can't even express to words how much I hate that. We gave up the arguably best wide receiver in the draft for basically a handshake and a piece of chewing gum. Like, we gave away absolutely the best wide receiver to a division rival. Like the Army going and giving up like the rest of the Middle East to Iran right now. You know, we hate them. We're at war with them. They need to die.
We're all here for the
Michael,
Cowboy crash outs.
Michael, your
Oh,
thoughts?
Luke, your Wi-Fi being terrible makes that so much better too. Oh my word, this is
So-
wow, what a first round.
I think
So the
Michael
Cow-
Davis needs a hug.
So the
Mike, you need a hug.
Cowboys' like biggest weakness is defense, and their second biggest weakness is the Philadelphia Eagles. And somehow we traded back, didn't get a 2nd round out of Philadelphia,
Nope.
but at the same time, we got worse with our 2 kryptonites, our defense and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm mad because I wanted Malachi Lemon. That's why I'm mad at you guys.
That is
Now we
true.
want Malachi Lemon.
Jorge
because
is
he's
right.
Michael and Luke.
Jorge is right. They usually whiff on wide receivers in the first round. I
Yep.
will say that. But
okay, but like
I really did
Rager
want
was
Also-
always going to be a win.
The other
This is
the,
crazy.
the other saving
Oh, and he's gone again.
Yeah, well, man, this is interesting. Like, this draft is not disappointed. Starting off with that 2nd pick all the way up to this now, this is phenomenal. But yeah, for the Cowboys to trade that pick and just make the Eagles stronger was insane. I don't know what they were thinking, and yeah, this was a heck of a pickup for the Eagles. And you talk about Malachi Lemon's draft for his fantasy football stock just went up, you know, going to the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. So here Michael needs fudge.
I want to hear. Are you happy, Jason? Are you happy to see the Cowboys cowboy?
Yes and no, because the Eagles just got better. So what good does that do for us New York Giants? Like, I don't want to see them get better too. I would have rather them picked up an offensive lineman. So no,
Okay.
I mean, I can only make fun of the Cowboys so much and the Eagles are still good now. So, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, and Jason, I do have to cut you off here a little bit. Chris, your Pittsburgh Steelers pick is in. What do you think they're doing here?
I mean, Malachi Lemon being gone, of course, losing number one wide receiver is not ideal. I mean, this is kind of who I wanted, but there's two I wouldn't hate here. Akeem Messador would obviously be really good. I'm not really big on Ramon McCoy because of that ACL injury. That's kind of concerning me. Again, we need corners. We need safeties. Who I wouldn't mind seeing here, and you guys can call me crazy when we did our little pre-draft thing, Luke, Aaron, and I took Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I would not hate to see him in this spot here because now that wide receiver is gone, we need help in the secondary because we were getting torn up in the secondary. So I'm interested to see here. I'm probably about a second or two behind you. They're waving the terrible towels. Unfortunately, I do not have mine with me. I do have this. Regardless, the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl regardless of who we pick. So Steelers are going to be hoisting Lombardi.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really true?
Will Howard, baby.
Will Howard, welcome to the Super Bowl winning quarterback club. The Lurs are going to the Super Bowl.
I
Luke,
think we're starting to see the run on some big boys, fellas.
I forgot my Fancy Brothers. I should have brought my fries and my sandwiches and.
Yeah, y'all unfortunately won't get to see my beautiful face anymore, but my connection should not crap out on my computer versus my phone.
That is unfortunate because I absolutely loved that choppy rant after that was absolutely hilarious. It was beautiful.
The only thing making this day better is I was finally able to find Busch Light Apple, and we got Caleb Downs. So
that is
net positive today.
Britt
maybe
Baker? Is that Britt Baker? That was Britt Baker. That was DMD. That was the AEW star. By the way, covered wrestling on my Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast yesterday. Talked about AEW a little bit. No spoilers though, because I haven't watched yet. Dr. Britt Baker. Tony Khan, bring her.
We have no central air conditioning, so that's impossible.
Can we just listen to what's happening right now? This renegade singing by the crowd. I mean, it's making me want to become a Steelers fan right now, and I'm a Packers fan saying that. That's crazy to say, but I mean,
one of the best traditions in sports. Renegade's just awesome. I've been able to experience it personally at Heinz Field, so it's really. And again, anyone, Pittsburgh's a great city. Should it host the NFL draft? Absolutely not. Infrastructure-wise, but shout out to the great city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It's pretty great. Do you want to see offensive linemen here, Chris?
I want to see secondary here now that Malachi Lemon's off the board. I want to see a secondary piece. I wouldn't mind seeing, like I said, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, even Dylan Thielen, Akeem Messador, something along those lines, but. Now that because the number one team we're not reaching getting Denzel Boston, but
what about Fields? What about Fields? Malachi Fields? No.
Nah, I mean I like Messador 6'3", 259. We'll see what they go. Like I said, you guys are probably a second or two ahead of me.
I mean, I'm honestly a fan of building up the offensive line because as of right now, it's looking like Will Howard is going to be your QB1. Not looking great. You obviously want to try and have him behind as secure of a line as possible.
Well,
Howard, even if it's not Will Howard, I mean, you have like a guy who can't move as your quarterback. So I mean, you've got to have people to protect.
Okay. Way. Yes. Chris, I love this pick for the Steelers.
Hold on. Like
he shot up. He shot up a lot of boards the last couple weeks.
Yep.
I had the hockey game on earlier too, so we got 4 or 5 different things on.
I love this, Chris. I'm waiting to talk about it until you see it. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's fine.
Yeah. Pretty good pick.
That's fine. Yeah. No,
I think does that bring Aaron Rodgers out of the cave? Like, is that good enough to bring Rodgers?
Leave him in the cave. Move on.
You got to bring him out the cave. I think, does that protect him enough?
Trap him in the cave.
Put a rock in front of the door.
He's battle tested. I mean, 6'5", 321, offensive tackle. I mean, you can block for Rodgers if he comes back, Will Howard if he comes back. I mean, that is a human monster there. Shout out Big 12, by the way. Coming up, ASU coming back up into the general area up here. So, yeah, I love it. That was definitely a team need. I wouldn't mind seeing a secondary piece. Again, these are Steelers type picks, whether if it's a safety, whether if it's an edge rusher, whether if it's an offensive tackle, offensive guard. This is a first round Steelers pick. It's textbook. They're not going to mess that up in the city of Pittsburgh. They're not going to go do something weird and try and draft some quarterback, and that should be a third rounder.
Yeah.
So, Chris, I had read somewhere when I was just gathering information on different stuff and what teams could do in the first round. And does this pick, the pick here with Max, I had read somewhere, I cannot remember where it was, but that Broderick Jones kind of had suffered a little bit of a setback in his recovery from that neck injury. You got to believe if that's the case, that played an important aspect into this pick here, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, and anything on the offensive line, it looked atrocious. I mean, it looked atrocious even when we had a couple years ago and we had that sign of hope kind of. I mean, I'm calling Mr. Unlimited a sign of hope, but that Russell Wilson, Justin Fields year, that was a really weird year. I think the huge reason we didn't get a playoff win that year was the failures of the offensive line. A playoff win that year is the failures of the offensive line. So, again, I definitely think Broderick Jones having potentially a setback in his injury played a factor there, but I'm not mad. I mean, we're never going to have a flashy pick because we're always picking somewhere in the teens to the 20s because we're always in the playoffs. We'll probably be in the same spot next year knowing how this goes in all seriousness, even though I was making the jokes about us going to the Super Bowl. Who knows? Maybe it's not a joke. The year it's not a joke is the year that we actually do make it.
I don't know.
Again.
Your coach is Mike McCarthy.
I know. There's only one person that got to see that live reaction. You guys missed it. Someone got to see that live reaction, and they forever get to remember me reacting to that. But
without a doubt. And Chris, on that note, I am going to let you go. I am a huge fan of the Steelers pick. Chris, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're living that night shift life, and you got to head out. Again, huge shout out for you to come on the show and help hold it down while I was waiting to come back. Chris, any last words?
Hey, man, thanks again for having me. I love being able to be here. If we're able to do something Sunday on the Gridiron Address, I'm definitely available for that. But make sure to tune into Dugout Debrief as we broke down just some disappointing teams. I mean, the New York Mets, what is up with them? They had a 12-game losing streak. They just broke that last night. Just dropping division series. Phillies as well. Royals, we talked about your Kansas City Royals. But with that being said, we love the night shift. Live, laugh, love night shift. Hard on the body, easy on the soul. Have a good night, guys.
See you there, buddy.
Thank you, Chris.
And
Akeem Messidor.
Messidor. Wow.
If I'm Justin Herbert, I am throwing an absolute.
Justin Herbert, I hope he's got good insurance. I know he does, but good.
I know you got your guys coming back, but oh my gosh. I mean, it had to be offensive line here. If they don't have adequate protection this year, I would request a trade if I was Justin Herbert. I mean, it's been too long.
Oh, come on.
It's been too long where he has just been getting beaten and battered. I mean,
because he's overrated. He's overrated.
This is the first year. It's not like this is the first year where he's had an atrocious pressure rate, where his offensive line has been basically non-existent. This has been his entire career, basically. So I just think it's ridiculous that they didn't draft offensive linemen. And look, I like the pick here. I like edge. I think it's a position of need, and I think that it's going to be a good pick. But I mean, you just have got to go edge. You have to go on.
Do the Cowboys go Keldrick Falk here on the edge?
They trade with the Eagles again.
Okay.
Yeah, Kumar, same thing. Chargers will do everything but their protector franchise QB. Well, it looks like that they did it again. Oops, we did it again.
I mean, look, I feel bad for Herbert. He might need to get out of there shortly. I'm going to be honest. It is not looking it's not looking too good. I do want to throw this to the two Cowboys fans here. Obviously, incredibly upset with that trade with the Philadelphia Eagles earlier on. Luke, I'll kick it to you first. What do you want to see Dallas do here?
Yeah, so there's two ways that they can take this. There's what I'm going to call the nightmare path, which is taking either Gerard McCoy or Falk. I do not like either of them. I don't like McCoy's ACL injury, and I'm just not a general fan of Falk. And then there's the good path, the path that doesn't make me drink too much before work in the morning tomorrow, which is either Colton Hood, the other Tennessee cornerback, or Avion Terrell from Clemson. I think those would be the correct two picks. Falk would be a little less worse. McCoy would, to me, be the absolute worst pick we could take. Trading back with the Eagles and then taking a guy that probably won't even be here for a while because he has injury issues.
So with that
McCoy
being
would
said,
scare
we
me to
all know
death.
that they're going to make it's going to be the nightmare path. Just want to prepare.
Have fun with Gerard McCoy. And Luke, I hope you can still make it to work on time tomorrow.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hear that
will.
crashing again. Unfortunately, it's not going to be as choppy as it was last time. But I am excited to hear it. No Middle East Iran talk this time, but still you can get wild.
The pick is in. Carson, sorry to cut you off. Michael, what do you want to see Dallas doing here? And do you agree with Luke that there's the good path and there's the nightmare path?
Yeah, Luke was pretty spot on. Jermon McCoy, as talented as he is, we've heard it so many times before where there's talent there, and the Cowboys will take a injury-prone player, hoping that they get good value for where they pick. That's not where this defense needs to be. We do need corner help. And so, yeah, Kale Downs can be very versatile, but I'd like him to stay at safety. I wouldn't be mad at the safety at Oregon. Dylan Thieneman was All-American. He was All Big Ten. He's versatile as well. So I could see this, especially if they want to go a little different. But they did pick up a safety in free agency that they're kind of high on. For me, I believe it is Avion Terrell, the corner from Clemson, who can play zone. He can play man. He can play press. He has the frame and everything. But here's the good thing. The Cowboys lost Jordan Lewis a couple years ago in free agency to the Jaguars, and he was perfect when it came to blitzing the quarterback. That is something that Avion Terrell brings to a defense, whoever he goes to. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a receiver. I don't think it's going to be an edge rusher. I think it's going to be Avion Terrell.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that if you're the Cowboys, I'm just addressing the defensive side of the ball. Basically, every single pick in this draft, I might draft one or two offensive linemen, but I mean it's defensive side of the ball, one after the other. I just got to say that comment from Jorge really made me laugh. I think when Herbert had his interview with the Chargers, he told them that he liked to eat his greens, and the GM interpreted that as wanting to eat grass all game long. I think that's incredibly accurate from Jorge. That's what it really seems like, because he is eating grass, he is eating turf all game long for his entire career. All we need is the Bills to pass up on weapons for Josh Allen, and everything is right in the universe. Okay, that's Shawshank. I'm sorry.
There's a Cowboys.
Goodell is at the podium.
Here we go.
Sit back.
Oh, okay.
Deep breath, Michael. Deep breath.
I heard this was a possibility.
Malachi Lawrence.
He gained a lot of first-round buzz.
You can't finish. UCF.
All right, Mike.
Okay, whatever.
Your thoughts?
I really have my hopes up on Avion Terrell.
I'd have took Mekhi
from
Lemon and not
Clemson.
traded with the Eagles.
Oh, okay, or that.
That would have been better.
I mean,
But okay, so here's my bone to pick. I don't mind Malachi Lawrence, but yeah, he was getting first round buzz, but you could have easily taken him up in the second round. If you're going to trade back, get a second round pick. Okay, get a second round pick. That way you can take Avion Terrell here. And then in the second round, if Malachi Lawrence falls, then you have your starting safety who's versatile. You got your starting corner who can play anywhere, nickel, slot, whatever. And then you can get Malachi Lawrence for the edge rush. But oh my gosh.
Luke,
Alrighty,
I
Luke, I
can't
gotta
hear you
hear
over
your
all that silence. I can't hear you over all that silence.
Yeah, this was the secret third path. This was the Jerry Jones path. We're just gonna make a pick that I don't know how to feel.
There's always that Jerry
I,
Jones path.
I don't outright hate this. I agree with Michael. I think this is a second round guy, and we had Avion Terrell staring us in the face. But it's also not the worst pick we could have made. I would have probably jumped off a building if we took Gerard McCoy.
Well,
So
that escalated from being hungover at work.
this could be the next DeMarcus Lawrence, or this could be the next Taco Charlton.
Oh,
kind
we
of.
can't-
I'm feeling more Taco than DeMarcus.
I was going to say I'm going to go
I'm
Taco.
feeling, but I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Already, and the Browns pick is in already. What do we think they're doing here?
Wide receiver, Boston.
I think you got it.
Or Fields. They got to Jerry Judy's not the answer. They need weapons.
Concepcion.
I like Concepcion too. I think they go wide receiver. They need a weapon. They got running back. They're good there. Their tight end Fanning. He's going to turn out to be a stud. Shedeur Sanders needs another weapon. So you already got offensive line help. Go out and get yourself a wide receiver and get down the field.
Yeah, I like that. Aikman, what do you think?
Oh, I think it's wide receiver. Just like y'all have mentioned, there's guys here. Denzel Boston is a really intriguing possibility to me at wide receiver. I do know that KC Concepcion there was a lot of late first round talk for him. And I think, is he just a slot guy in the NFL? Does he blossom into something more? That's going to be real interesting to see if they go KC Concepcion here at 24. I think it's wide receiver.
I think that Concepcion could blossom in the NFL as more than a slot receiver. The problem is, I don't think there's a lot of people who are known for blossoming once they get drafted by the Cleveland Browns.
No,
that's my big fear.
And bad because I like Boston and Fields. Just they're taller. You talking about 6'4", 6'5". Concepcion 6 foot, a little bit shorter. You need to get some big bodies down there. Shedeur Sanders needs to be able to get the ball downfield and needs a big target because he's not the most accurate quarterback right now, especially being pretty young. So you need a big body guy to throw to.
I'd like. I would say I do agree. I think it'll be wide receiver. But I think you might want to go with someone who Shedeur would be familiar with. Maybe you're talking about body size, and Travis Hunter was one of his favorite weapons, and the guy out of Indiana, Omar Cooper Jr., is basically same height, same weight as Travis Hunter. I think maybe a little bit similar skill set as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's him either.
I mean, yeah,
Michael,
I feel like there's.
He's still getting over the last pick.
I'm trying to move him along.
The wind is out of his sails right now. He's
You
going down in a circle.
You could think about something else. Think about the Browns' incompetence rather than Jerry Jones.
You guys are better than the Browns, so just think of that.
So I would love to go back and rewatch the movie Draft Day. That was a classic. That was,
Shout out Kevin Costner.
It's a script when the Cleveland Browns seem competent in an NFL draft, but I mean, Shan Kumar saying it best, and we're the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, you gotta go receiver here. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback, whether it's Shedeur, whether they're hoping for Deshaun, but I'd
Oh,
actually
no.
That
take,
hope's left the building. There
I'd
ain't
actually
no way
take
they're still putting
Concepcion.
stock in that.
Deshaun is
Oh.
never playing quarterback again in the NFL.
I don't know.
I hope
Curtains
not.
at the podium.
Ever.
I called it. There we go.
Well,
Concepcion.
there you go.
Honestly, I like that pick. I
Yeah.
really do.
Good pick.
Yeah.
He played for NC State, and I'm so glad he
sir.
moved to Texas A&M because he was tough. But who's going to throw the ball?
Exactly. I mean,
I think Shador is someone the Browns fans can rally around. He's got that kind of swag going on. I think they've got a sneaky good team if they can just be coached up right. I mean, their defense is good. They have their top defender there, but this is a good pick for the Browns. They need somebody to get down the field. Jerry Jeudy is just not that guy anymore.
Now, do the
Yeah.
Bears go D-line here? Edge, interior D-line, something of that effect? Do we see Kendrick his fall in here?
I think Thieneman out of Oregon.
Well, safety,
might be
yeah.
here.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised he's here still, to be honest with you. But
Yeah,
I mean,
the fact that a player as good as Dylan Penniman has fallen here. Originally, I was thinking like a Keldrick Falk or Mesidor if he was going to be available here. That was under the assumption that the Vikings were going to be smart and take Dylan Thieneman. But they weren't, as we saw. They took Caleb Banks. It's going to take me a second to get over that, but I think this is a really easy pick. This is a player who I think is top 15 talent-wise in this draft, and he's here for you now. I think you have to take him.
what's the biggest possible
Is
that the Bears could make here? I think that's what they're probably going to do.
well, I mean,
I think they go offensive line. You got to protect the baby bear.
I think they might trade for Ty Simmons here. Not Simmons, I'm sorry, Simpson. I think that's what they're going to do here, probably. That's what I would do. No.
I mean, if we want to be silly and say a reach, they're taking Dominic Zavada, kicker.
Yes, yeah. That's who they've been needing, too. So,
Kamar, if they do take the safety from Oregon, that'll be a really, really good pick.
It's a kind of a no-brainer unless they
Yeah.
really love if they love somebody.
I mean, I wouldn't hate
they
Emmanuel
definitely need
Warren
defense
either.
Yeah.
just so Jordan Love could throw right over his head. I mean, what's the point?
Guys, this is why I don't try to follow the draft and do my mocks and get my hopes up, because the safety from Oregon or the corner from Clemson would have been such a good fit in Dallas.
Yeah, Terrell. Yeah.
And instead,
Well, I mean, they were never going to take Thieneman at 23 after you just took Caleb Downs. I mean, yeah, Avion Trail would have been spectacular. You know what else would have been really spectacular? Not trading with the Philadelphia Eagles. I
Yeah,
think
that would be
yep.
well, also, like, if we had took Avion Terrell after we traded with the Eagles, I'm like, okay, let me take Terrell versus Lemon. But that's not what happened.
No.
Yeah.
Jerry is going to Jerry.
I would rather have taken Lawrence at 20 than trade with the Eagles if we had to take Lawrence.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't need, again, that was one of those trades, just like Kansas City. You didn't need to trade to get the guy you wanted. You get some late round picks, big deal. I mean, it's not like you got a second round pick or a third round pick. You got,
I would have loved a second. Set Philly
That
back.
might even be more egregious than the Chiefs trade.
No, the Chiefs is more egregious.
What did
yeah.
Kansas City give up? Because I missed that part of the draft.
A third and a fifth. Third and a fifth.
No,
and they
it's
just,
more
and they
egregious
just
for
moved up
Dallas.
3, right? Did they get anything else other than 6?
No, they just moved up. They just moved up 3. So they gave up the 9th and then a third and a 5th to get a guy that they were just going to get anyway.
So here's the difference with that is Kansas City didn't trade up with their rival.
Right, exactly.
I mean, so Cleveland didn't anyways. I mean, yeah, Cleveland's trying to get where Kansas City is, but they'll never get there. Dallas helped Philly get better. and didn't draft anybody to stop Mekhi Lemon. Even if he's a bust, like we still need corner help desperately, and you had a first round talent, which I really like Tavion Terrell. Is there any way he can drop to the late third round when our next pick is?
No.
It's gross.
He's going to go second round here or first round pretty soon.
He's going to be a first rounder. He's going to come off the board.
Mike, I was
before the
trying
end of the
not
night.
to. I was
He's
trying not to
probably
kill
going
your
he's probably
Cowboys.
going to
I was
Buffalo.
bumping up the Chiefs debacle here, man. I was trying to save you, but you keep piling it on.
Jerry
He's probably
Cobb.
going to Buffalo, Mike. I mean, that's where they really need corner help. That's like their secondary is their big weakness. So he's probably going to Buffalo. At least you don't have to see him twice a year.
I mean, Buffalo's got questionable receivers too. I think Omar Cooper Jr., Denzel Boston are both solid shouts there for the Bills.
Yeah, but but Josh Allen is gonna make you an elite offense.
Michael, I don't want to hear anything from you after what Dallas has done. I'm gonna be honest. Don't be talking about no bus with your Malachi Lawrence at 23.
No, we see this every year. Like there's an elite quarterback who gets picked, but that quarterback also had an elite receiver who got the first round. And sometimes one's a bust and the other is like a 10-time All-Pro. Johnny Manziel and Mike Evans, for example. But the difference here is it's going to be the inverse. Like Mendoza is going to be a good player if the Raiders can surround him and not just bury him. But yeah, I feel like Amari Cooper benefited from having Mendoza as the quarterback.
Bears pick is in. Goodell's at the podium.
The Bears.
Here
we go.
Also, Michael, that is a discussion that we need to have at another time because we don't have the benefit of time to fully deep dive into that. Okay,
I think you'll be okay when it sinks in. I think you'll be okay.
I mean, this pick was obvious. Dylan Thieneman falling to the
good.
Bears here at 25.
Yeah,
this
Such
was
a good pick.
We've also got another trade.
Uh-oh.
Did Dallas trade up?
No.
No, it would be another team in Texas that is traded up into
The
the
Houston
round.
Texans? Wow.
So
They need offensive line.
I was
If
going to
Houston-
say
offensive line. Houston Texans don't even talk anything until you protect CJ Stroud.
You have the details, Aikman?
I'm looking to see. I don't have details yet, but Houston is traded up with. I'm curious to see what Buffalo gets to come down. Is what I'm
Yeah,
curious.
because I think they had a really good guy who they could have got at 26 here. So
Is it?
I don't think that was
Lemieux
a safe. I don't think that's a safe.
I'm wondering offensive line wise because you have the other kid from Utah that is still on the board. Yeah, and Caleb Lomu because
or
I'll
the
be
guy
honest,
from A&M.
Chase Basantis. Yeah, I think
that would be a reach though.
Basantis.
Well, I've seen a lot of people having
I like a
Basantis
couple
rise.
I was going to say
really high.
Basantis has gained a lot of steam in the last 2 or 3 days, especially.
He's gained a lot of steam like Malachi Lawrence.
Except I think Basantis is a better prospect.
Hey, there's a guard from Duke who people will be just honestly Duke players in this draft. You gotta have your eyes on Brian Parker. You gotta have your eyes on Vincent Anthony, Chandler Rivers, especially any Duke defensive players. Dude, Manny Diaz is a mastermind when it comes to that. I wouldn't be surprised seeing at least 2 Duke players go tomorrow.
Yeah, well, Duke had a really, really good team last year. I mean, a surprisingly good team. So, yeah, I mean, I think some of their guys are definitely going to come out here soon. Probably, maybe not today, but tomorrow, I would say.
If what I'm scratching my head here because if what I am seeing on the Houston Texans is accurate, I don't understand it.
What is it?
I get it.
What is that?
I get it, but I don't understand why you traded up to do it. I mean, I don't.
It's offensive alignment, or is it a receiver?
No.
I think receiver would be silly.
Position is correct, but I don't with what's still there.
Receiver?
No,
they go on offensive line.
Offensive line. I'm scratching my head on the one that they're trading up to get because most people have him barely, maybe number 50, if not
Ooh.
lower. I mean,
Whoa.
It's Jennings
don't-
Dunker, isn't it?
no, it's
Oh.
not Jennings. It's
Well, the pick is in.
Oh,
Is this like a this for
Emmanuel
sure it's in,
Pregnon.
or is this like
Yeah.
this is what you're hearing? I mean, you've been right on basically everything up to this point.
He's been so right. You can't get this coverage anywhere else.
Yeah, he's got something going on there. He's got the insider scoop.
I really don't know.
I'm going to need you to spill your secrets after we get off here.
But I don't know, because I mean, with Pregnon there, with Basantis there, like there is better options, especially if you want to go interior offensive lineman. I don't know. I don't understand.
Whoever Houston's going to take here, yes, it's a position of need, and yes, they would have gotten them at 28.
Yeah.
Whoever they're trading up for is an unnecessary trade to make.
That's what I'm saying. If you're giving up draft capital to just move up a couple
Miami just traded back with the 49ers at 27.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah, they jumped up.
Wow.
Okay, Miami.
Now, is it the 28th pick? Did they give up the 28th pick to get the 26th? Houston? Are we sure about that yet? They could be keeping the 28th.
So the Texans have the 26th and the 28th pick?
What are they?
Miami went to 30.
Bills get, oh my goodness, the Bills get 28, 69, and 167, while the Texans get 26 and 91.
Oh, I hate that.
Whoa.
Houston, what are we doing?
Houston, we have a problem.
We have a dang problem.
Big time.
And now you're going to see who they're going to take. I'm just going to
okay. Man, what are you doing? He would have been there at 28. Come on.
He would have been there at 35 or 40.
Yeah. This is silly. This is silly.
CJ Stroud, God bless him.
I'm just going to gloat because in me and Aaron and Chris's who will we draft, I got him like last pick, and he's a first rounder.
Well, I mean, good for you, but I mean, you weren't expecting.
It's a terrible pick. It's a terrible pick, but it makes me look good.
It's a terrible trade.
I remember you being like, "Oh yeah, I need a guard. Let's go Keelan Rutledge."
Okay, so this might not be a bad pick, but I do question trading up for him like that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he's a good player and everything, but
like looking back in 10 years, nobody ever remembers the trades. Nobody ever remembers how much you gave up. Like looking back in 10 years, you look and see, okay, should this guy have been taken here, or was this guy actually a top 10 pick?
Like when they drafted Titus Howard.
Yeah.
So with the 49ers Dolphins deal, 49ers get 30 and 90. The Dolphins get 27 and 138.
Wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
The 49ers get pick 30 and 90, while the Dolphins get 27 and 138.
Real quick, also, Miami is 100% going wide receiver here.
Yeah, they got to be going wide receiver, which is
Austin.
If they aren't,
Austin or Fields.
I mean, they got to be going wide receiver, but they could have got Lemon. They could have got Lemon earlier in the draft. They had a perfect opportunity.
I think this is where they wanted to have Ty Simpson. This is where he should have technically fell if the Rams don't pick him, because that's kind of where I know we had him slotted.
I am seeing that the pick is in. I think,
yeah.
Obviously, like you're talking about Denzel Boston, I think if you want to get another speedster in there, you could be looking at Zachariah Branch out of Georgia.
True.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You never know.
Look, the one thing about Malik Willis is that he doesn't have the biggest arm. So, I mean, he's got a good arm, but it's not huge. So, like, maybe you don't want to get a super speedster because, like,
I mean, just because a guy's fast doesn't mean you're throwing up 55-yard Hail Marys to him every time.
The ball.
Well,
Branch can also get open. He separates quick, and when you want a guy who can catch the ball, you can burn him like that.
For sure, but I mean, obviously, when you have a guy who is like super quick, one of their like a weapon that they have in their arsenal is that they can get downfield quickly, and so maybe you take a guy who is more polished in the short field. Not that he's not, but I'm just saying,
Well, does Miami look maybe a defensive backfield here too? It's not exactly like they got any kind of like grand secondary by any stretch.
Yeah, but I think you can let that slide a little bit because there's more value down the board. I think the two, I think there's like 4 or 5 good wide receivers. I think you just don't let fall any farther. You need something. Tyreek Hill is not there anymore. I mean, you got Washington and a bunch of other no names. You need a top tier wide receiver if you're Miami. You need something. You need a playmaker right now. Devon A-Chain is their playmaker. Who else do they have? So they need to do something here.
So I know I had read and researched a lot that it was somewhere from in the 20s to the end of the first round, there was a guy that a lot of people had really started to take a shine to. And with who we have left in the first round, there's still some teams. That's why I mentioned this DB thing with Miami. Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. A lot of NFL scouts seem to really like this guy from research that I done. Do we think that maybe I don't know. I don't know with Miami. I'm still getting over this Texans trade, by the way, to do what they did. We had talked about Minnesota maybe taking the cake for the reach of the night. Maybe is it Houston now?
Yeah, I think
Kinda has
Houston
to be.
definitely. Houston's taking over that position. Hold my beer. There's a hold my beer situation.
Hey, it's still not a worse trade than what the Cowboys did. So
Mike, we're trying, dude. We're trying to get you out of the dumps,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Come on, man. We're
He's
trying.
going to be stuck in it for a bit.
Yeah,
the Cowboys did not have the worst trade of the night, Michael. So you can hang your hat on that. That's
Yeah.
rare.
They had
That's
a bad
rare,
run, though.
Michael. That the Cowboys don't do the stupidest thing that anybody has done. So congrats.
the only other dumb decision you could have made is not watching the draft coverage here on Boom Broadcasting. That's the only other dumb
Exactly.
mistake you could have made.
And guess what?
Amen.
I don't think Jerry Jones is in comments. So
not yet.
That we know of.
Not
all right,
yet.
here we go.
Ooh, Aikman. I'm
Dude.
gonna need you to I'm gonna need to pull you aside
Whoa.
after this because I need to know what your sources are. Because Miami want Chris
Yeah.
Johnson out of San Diego State.
This is why we have the best
Wow.
coverage.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. This is definitely a Jeff Hafley special. I mean, he's got to be the one he's got to have a big voice in picking these guys because I can't believe they haven't gone wide receiver in the first round.
He probably knows what they want and what they need, and they're going after particular
wow.
guys who fits his system, and that's how you build a defense, especially if you're coming in as a defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah.
I like this move.
The
really-
Bills pick
It's
is already
interesting.
in.
It's interesting pick to go
Wow.
defense here. When there's at least 2 to 3, if not 4, stud wide receivers left to get, this is an interesting pick for Miami. So,
But
Yeah.
Jason, I'll throw this at you.
yeah,
There's a lot more receivers in next year's class. There's a Jeremiah
That's very
Smith
true.
from Ohio State who's Megatron-like. I mean, there's going to be a deeper receiver class next year.
and they'll have
Miami's
it's the
not
Miami
competing.
Dolphins. They'll have a deep. They'll have a
Oh,
high draft
there's
pick
a
next
trade.
year
You gotta
too.
say
Bills,
Buffalo
my
traded
goodness.
to
Patriots
New
traded up.
England. To New
What?
England.
What?
Oh yeah. What is it with teams trading with division rivals?
I know.
I don't
What are we
understand this.
doing here?
This is
That's crazy.
Crazy. Whoa.
I mean, Jerry Jones. It makes. Oh wait, no.
And
Yeah,
and they're
no,
not
for
going
sure.
wide receiver. Well, they may go wide receiver.
They definitely could. Stephon Diggs is old, and Drake
Yeah,
May.
well, he's got
Oh
his
wait,
issues.
but no, they're getting AJ Brown after June 1st.
Yeah,
right?
but you
That's what I
need
heard.
something other than AJ Brown. So I mean, you're going to need
They are
You
trying
really-
to trade Kayshawn Booty. Like that's
Yeah.
been reported all day. that
Demario
they're trying
Douglas
to-
is not that guy.
I'll
So
tell
I
you.
can-
Yeah, but I mean,
Boston
AJ Brown-
going to New England? What? Does that
That's
fit?
funny. I love
I'll,
that.
I'll,
Bust-
I'll tell you who I think
Boston to Boston.
is a Mike Vrabel guy, and that's going to be Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Mm.
I think that could very well be the pick here.
But
Mm.
Luke, their defense is set. Like that's one of the reasons they
Yeah.
went
Oh,
to.
yeah.
But
This makes sense.
that
Here
is
we go.
true.
His pick
Here we
makes
go.
sense.
They're-
Offensive
Here we
line.
go.
Yep.
Offensive
Whole
line.
lot of sense. Whole
Protect
lot
Drake
of
May.
sense.
Protect Drake
I
May.
mean, this is perfect. They're getting
Taylor
AJ
Lover,
Brown
yeah.
in June.
Yeah.
You got to keep
Yeah.
Drake May upright.
Yeah.
Got to protect
Lomu.
your young quarterback.
Good pick. They are the Patriots, man.
Get the guy in the
They're-
jean
they're gonna
shorts.
be
That's
good
what
at
you do.
football.
He's got the Brett Favre jean shorts on.
You wear jean shorts for your draft day as an offensive lineman, you're elite immediately.
He's got the jorts. Here we go.
I mean,
He
that's
should have been
elite
a
right
he
there.
should have been a top 15 pick.
If
So
I
for
would've seen
him to
wear-
fall, I think
if
that's
I
a
would have
that's a
seen him
good
wearing
pick.
jean shorts, it would have gone Mendoza, Caleb Lamu.
That's a big pick. Drake May protected.
Yeah. Yeah. The Patriots, man, they just do it right. They really do it right. They find the right guys, and then they draft around them, and they get who they need.
Yeah.
So.
That was now that's why you trade up and you trade with
Exactly.
a rival to get someone like that was a top 15 talent. You don't trade or trade with your rival to get top 50 pick.
Aikman, since you have the sources, do you know what
Do you know what
Do
the
you know
winning
what the
lottery
spread
numbers
was?
are? I want to know
No,
like
I
winning
wish.
lottery numbers, Aikman, because right now you are on fire, and we need to figure out he's got the book from Back to the Future. That's what it is. He's got the Back to the Future book. He can see everything. That's what he's got. Something there.
the pick is already in for the Chiefs, but Aikman, do you know what the details were for that trade, that Buffalo New England trade?
It looks like
I see Buffalo has the 31st now.
yes, 31 and 125. So nothing crazy.
Yeah,
No,
not
that's pretty
bad.
good actually. For
Yeah.
that, yeah, that's a good pick, Mr. Kansas City Chiefs, Mr. Cowboys.
That's how you
Mr.
trade with your
Dolphins.
division.
That's how
rival.
you do it. If you're gonna do it, you do it right, and they did it right. And it's terrible that it was New England. But this Chiefs pick, I think they go wide receiver. I can see them getting Fields or Boston. They need a wide receiver. The X-Man is not it. Rice has his issues. They need to get a weapon. Although I can see them going offensive line too, which I'm really surprised the Chiefs didn't try to trade up to get a good offensive lineman to protect Patrick Mahomes. But they need some weapons there in Kansas City.
Yeah. I could definitely see it. I mean, I think Rashee Rice is just going to have these like legal issues for his entire career, and like really, I just think he's that kind of guy. I don't think X-Man is it as well, so I could definitely see them drafting skill position. Maybe they go offensive line here because Patrick Mahomes was under a lot of duress last season. And you want to keep him healthy, especially, and you got Justin Fields floating the ship until Patrick Mahomes comes back. So you can never go wrong with the offensive line.
Do you think there's a tight end that could bubble up because you need
Eli
a replacement
Stowers.
for Kelsey? I mean, do you think there's a tight end
Stowers.
that could bubble up into this position?
Stowers, 100%.
Yes. Okay. You think he can go first round talent?
I mean, the success they had with a Travis Kelce type, who's an incredibly strong receiving threat and like not a horrendous blocker, but it is far from their strong suit. Stowers is a big wide receiver, is what he is. He's going to be a matchup nightmare for linebackers and some safeties. He's quick. If you're looking for a tight end to maybe like rise up because Kelsey's getting old, then I think Stowers is that guy. But I don't think they do that. I think Denzel Boston's a better pick at this point in the draft. Stowers could potentially be there later on.
My thing is, I think his development had a lot, like Travis Kelce had a lot to do with Andy Reid just being a mastermind, and I think he's kind of lost it at this point in terms of just offensive prowess. So, Michael, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I'm hearing some weird rumors, weird reports that make this Eagles trade so much worse. That apparently, I don't even know. Apparently,
I see what you're talking about. I just don't want to get sued for no libel here, but
apparently there's a rumor going around that the Pittsburgh Steelers were on the phone with Mekhi Lemon when the Eagles traded up and selected him. I don't know if that's true or not.
wow,
That would be terrible for not only me, but for also Chris.
yeah.
Chris
I
would
can't
get that
imagine
too early.
what Chris is feeling right now, and apparently that comes from Ian Rappaport too. So, that is just a rumor up at this point. We'll have to know. Here comes the Chiefs pick, so that it would be devastating for Steelers.
Who is it,
fans
Aitman?
and for-
I know
Who is it,
Aikman's got it.
This one I don't know because I think there's a number of ways you could go. I think offense makes sense here. I'm not going to rule out defense though.
Okay. This might be the first time he's been non-committal on a pick.
The Chiefs
weird.
need to lose
I
a
don't-
lot of defensive pieces.
I think he's
They
trying
did.
to throw us off the trail.
Yeah. He's
He doesn't
just he's being modest now.
Oh,
exactly.
oh,
Defense. I
Oh,
didn't think
yeah.
he'd be
Peter Wood, defense,
Oh.
Clemson.
I didn't think he was going to be tonight.
I'm be honest with you guys. Keldrick Falk may be a second round pick.
it's looking like
Makes
it.
sense.
He is.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I
I'm
gotta
glad
think
Dallas
this
didn't draft
pick.
him.
I gotta think this pick is because Chris Jones is starting to deteriorate. He's not
We got another
that
trade.
he was.
Oh Lord, what's
The
happening?
Jets have come to 30.
Oh. Boston or
Jets?
Garrett
Fields?
Nussmeier.
Another Fields to New York.
Carson
Drew
Beck,
Aller.
anyone?
Carson Beck.
Carson,
Joey
that was
Joey
so
Aguilar.
hard.
Carson. Do we see Joey
Taylor
Aguilar go
Green.
here?
Taylor Green.
Pavel.
If we see Joey Aguilar go here, I will probably cry on stream. I mean, that would be amazing
And
to see.
the pick is
Did-
already in. He is in this draft class. He ran out of eligibility.
He is in the draft
Ooh,
class,
good.
okay? And the pick is in. I mean, to me,
Diego
that sounds like
Pava.
a team who knows that they want Joey Aguilar. That's what it sounded like to me.
I have two options I'll offer for this pick. You have a Jets team that did not have a single, and I mean a single interception last year. And you have Emmanuel McNeil Warren and Avion Terrell staring you in the face. How do you want to trade up to get either one of those two players?
Diego Terrell,
and
another
right in
Revis
front of
Island.
Buffalo, too. Right in front of Buffalo's pick, too. I think that's why they did it. They're probably they got to go cornerback here because Buffalo would have snatched one of those guys up quick.
I don't know, but there has been a lot of ice in this draft here, man. Dude's got chains bigger than my car hanging around their necks. It's crazy. Iced out. Jacob the Jeweler doing something.
You think these guys are showing up to their draft wearing jorts, dude? They got they're iced out.
Listen, man,
That's
the
the John
Jorts
Cena
got it.
effect.
The Jorts
Hang
got
on,
it, dude.
Johnson.
This is interesting. This is an interesting pick here for the Jets. They've done pretty good so far this draft, which is odd to say.
The Jets have not jetted. I think Avion
Yeah.
Terrell is a layup here, though.
It has to be.
I like
It
that.
has to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did they stick defense and really try to be the mean green again? But I mean, they do need some weapons. They are a little short.
I think,
right now.
I think their offense is always going to be bad. The thing is, because Chris, you mentioned this earlier, that they used to have this. They like a couple years ago, they had a great defense, and their offense has always been bad. And I know here comes the pick, but they had Robert Sullivan, and they don't now. So
Oh, okay. Michael, I know you're not going to
Ah.
like this, but I mean,
Wow.
look,
Bust.
receiver was still in play here. I would have liked to see them go Avion Terrell, but
I
mean, they need
receiver,
offense.
Really. Well,
But I
the
mean,
Bills are jumping up and down right now, dude.
Yeah, because Terrell's gonna like fall to him right now.
Yeah,
Bills would be crazy
gotta
not to
be
take him.
Terrell.
Bills would be crazy not to take him.
Michael,
They
stop.
are-
I don't have time to address your comments, so I'm going to respectfully ask you to stop until I can.
No, Aaron, you got. I'm the other co-host here, and I don't want you to stop. I want to hear this. So, overruled.
I'm just surprised he went over Boston and Fields. Like, I mean, I know he's
I'm
good, but that to me is, I don't want to say it wasn't the biggest stretch of the night, but
I wouldn't even call it a stretch.
They better not trade away Garrett Wilson. That's all I'm going to say.
Let me.
I mean, the 49ers
Oh
did
my
pick
gosh,
up 33
I love Garrett
just to
Wilson
move
so much.
down.
If he
So.
could come to the Packers.
Can I offer a rant on behalf of Jets fans?
go for
Go
it.
for it.
You're drafting Omar Cooper Jr. before Avion Terrell or Emmanuel McNeil Warren when your quarterbacks are Geno Smith, Bailey Zappa, and Brady Cook. You're not going to get the
Geno
ball
Smith
to a wide receiver.
Jets are getting cooked.
You're not.
Geno Smith is about to prove the
He's
world
not even going to have a ball
No,
thrown
he's
to
not,
catch to
Carson.
him.
Carson, no, he's not. Good lord.
Roll the
He
ball,
had
cook
one-
it up,
He had
stir the
he
pot.
had a bunch of bad years, and then 2 great years, and then one
Great
really
is
bad year.
generous.
They were good years, and then
I
one
don't-
bad year again. It's turning around, man.
His last year in Seattle wasn't great. That was questionable.
Well,
I don't
whoever
get it.
It was a good year. I thought he was
What-
going to go to the Raiders. I thought he was going to really be pretty good for the Raiders. So I was wrong. Hi.
Well, whoever the Jets draft in 2027 for quarterback, they're going to have a good tight end and a good wide receiver for him.
Oh, yeah. And the Bills' pick is in. Are they going Avion Terrell here?
It'd be a no-brainer. It'd be
Yeah.
stupid if they didn't.
Yeah, it really would be.
The Bills.
Aiken, what's happening here?
Trade the pick with the Dolphins.
The Titans.
What?
They traded with the Titans.
Really?
Ooh,
What are
The
Bills?
Tennessee
Austin?
Titans are now on the clock.
Boston
okay.
in play here.
They
Get a weapon for
took
Cam
Carnell
Ward.
Tate already, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I think you got. We've been saying it for like 4 picks now, Luke. I feel like we did this last year as well. Avion Terrell.
Yeah.
Come on
Yeah.
now.
How can he? Wow. Who do they get with the trade?
Dude, if they got Avion Terrell, why waste his career in Tennessee?
Really? I mean, this is perfect. That was perfect for the Buffalo Bills. They really.
I'll
That's
throw out
exactly what they
another
need.
option for the Titans. Could see Falk here. I think.
What about Price? They go running back.
The pick's in already.
Wow.
That was quick. I mean, obviously they know what they're doing here.
Didn't
Yeah,
it
they
say
knew
the
what they
pick was
wanted.
in for Buffalo? Like, imagine
It
what Bills
did.
fans are feeling right now.
They did.
Like, we got somebody. Nope, we traded.
Psyche,
Wait
don't
till
get a
tomorrow.
first round pick.
They feel like they went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and didn't win anything. That's what they're feeling.
Mm.
Now, what did they get back? Do we know the details at all? Because I just think there was such a no-brainer pick on the board that you had to get something good back.
Or I mean, their guy was already gone, and like they had a player
Yeah.
in mind who's since been drafted, and at this point, you're just looking to recoup capital.
True.
And what's really interesting here is Titans train up, like, now have a 5th-year option to exercise on not only Carnell Tate, but whoever the selection is here.
Does
Yeah.
Keldrick Falk go here?
I
Titans
think
need
it's-
defensive end.
That's
Yeah.
the one I was kind of looking at on my board. It's like Tennessee needs help there. Jeffrey Simmons has kind of been
Chase
on an island.
DeSantis would be a solid shout here as well. Get Cam Ward some more protection.
We just predicted it. I mean,
Look, I said Keldrick Falk before Aikman did. I just want to throw that out there. I said it first.
He did.
I
He
think
did.
I did actually.
I mean, I said it, but
No,
I don't
Luke,
feel
what are you
good
talking
about
about?
it. I said it, but I
I'm
don't feel
pretty
good
sure I
about it
did.
anyway. So.
Aaron's
fine.
going to feed off of that for the
Confirmed.
next
Yeah.
month. I beat him on that pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
go.
well, but, I mean, do you trade up to get him? I mean, that's
I think
another
you could have
one.
got Keldrick Fault tomorrow night easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why?
They want that 5th-year
Okay.
option.
Okay, no, the Titans are picking again in round 3, and like Michael said, having a 5th-year option for a player is incredibly valuable, and
yeah.
But is he worth that? And
he
not
potentially
Terrell.
could be. Look, he's He's raw as a pass rusher. He's a little bit inconsistent, but as a run defender, he is very, very good. If you want to talk just pure run defenders, he's one of the best in this class. Why he fell so far is the lack of pass rush consistency.
I want to say something with Aaron. Like, look at the quarterbacks versus the running backs that the Titans have to play. They have to play Jonathan Taylor twice a year. Travis Etienne, I believe, is still on the team. Houston, whether it's Mixon or whoever, continues to be a threat in the run game. So they do need run defenders. And if Keldrick Faulk can develop while he continues to defend the run, I mean, a fifth-year option here makes sense.
Yeah. And can I say something here? Because the Seattle Seahawks have done absolutely nothing. Super Bowl champions. They've sat quiet. They literally just had a smorgasbord drop in their lap because they can go out and get another wide receiver to pair with Jackson Smith and Jigba. They can go look at that defense, how good it was last year. Now you can add Terrell to that. Oh my goodness. The Seattle Seahawks just won the lottery right now.
Because Kobe Bryant left in free agency to Chicago.
Is McNeil Warren in play here, maybe?
They have so many options. Seattle is in heaven right now. They didn't have to do absolutely anything. The last pick in the first round, they literally have their pick of some top-tier talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Holy cow. Seattle defense is going to get better.
Look, I think the smart move here. I was going to say I think they go defense, build that up, because the talent that's going to be there at the 32nd pick in the second round at the wide receiver position, I think is going to be better than what you're looking at for an edge rusher or defensive back.
Yep, big time. But they're licking their chops right now in Seattle.
I think if you really want to go boom or bust as Seattle, as the Legion of Boom, I think you sat, like Jason was saying, you sat here at 32 letting things slide right to you. Why not take a flyer on Gerard McCoy? He's a guy that, people said even with the injury, he could have been top 15, top 10. And he's now at an available option at 32. I don't want to rule him out.
Fifth-year option could make sense, though, with a redshirt first year.
Yep.
But they have some of the best picks to go. It's crazy. They can have their way right now. Unbelievable. They did absolutely nothing.
In, so they know who they want.
It's probably McNeil Warren. I'm believing Aitman on this one. He's been right 98%
he's
of the
been
night.
Right a whole lot.
I don't feel good about it.
I don't think he's missed one.
I think they go Terrell. I mean, why would you not get like the biggest banger on the board right now? I mean,
I would go Terrell.
I'm gonna stop guessing Terrell because I've been doing that for the last few picks.
It's gonna hit. It's gotta hit at one point in time. Just keep calling it until it happens.
It won't be Terrell. It will not be Terrell.
Oh, here we go.
Well, it's not gonna be Terrell.
It's McNeil Warren. It has to be.
I don't know.
If it's not Terrell, it's McNeil Warren.
Did they go wide receiver?
I can't
Caden
imagine
McDonald would be
for the second round.
I don't know.
There's got to be something.
I have a gut feeling that, and I don't know who it is, but I have a gut feeling we may be a little bit shocked. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling because I do not know who the pick is. But I just feel like it's going to be one of those kind of weird end of first round picks that we're like, couldn't you have gotten? I don't know.
That would make sense for the Seahawks too, because they're so complete that maybe they just see a guy and there's like, we think this guy is going to be really good for you.
I'm going to be really sad if it's Jacob Rodriguez.
Oh no, please no.
That would be a heck of a pick here.
They get Jadarian Price. They got to replace. Walker the third. They go running back for the last pick.
That would. I mean, they
running back.
Man, I don't
Garrett
like
Nussmeier, Carson Beck.
Exactly.
It's got to be Joey Aguilar. Michael, get over this.
It's
Small hands, Pava.
They're still not sold on Sam Darnold. It's Joey Aguilar for sure.
Exactly.
Kansai Matsuzawa.
Great decision maker. Oh,
but
yeah.
still,
That's
What-
how you
what-
run a franchise.
but
What
the Seattle
about,
Seahawks fallen, man, craziness. They just had this fall into their lap. They just can pick some stud here.
Yeah.
8man says I'll be shocked, but I feel like it has to be McNeil Warren.
Well, we're about to find out.
Tomorrow night's going to be amazing. Those first 5 or 6 picks.
Oh, my
gosh,
goodness.
it's going to be a frenzy.
Yep, that
This whole
third round
draft
is going to be
so
nuts.
deep. It's just such a deep draft.
Well, there's deep positions. I don't know if it's a deep draft because it definitely ain't
Yeah.
deep at quarterback. It's definitely not deep at running back. Tight end,
Right.
a little bit
I'd say
light.
running back's pretty decently deep.
I
I
mean,
think a
it's deep.
linebacker and offensive line is really two of your big spots in this draft that I think are deep.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Because I'm just going to agree with everything Aikman says because he's got the finger on the pulse
He knows
of
ball.
the world.
Oh,
Seattle, you better nail this. The last pick. Come on, man. Don't disappoint. Don't disappoint.
stop screaming in the mic.
Yeah, what is he doing?
Come on, dude. You know he's on TV. He's got to make the most of it.
Yeah, but he's going to have an aneurysm. Yeah, fall down.
If he has an aneurysm on TV, you know.
No,
I mean,
it's
it is
cool,
a
though.
make-a-wish kid.
I would
so it
give,
is
I
his
would,
goal.
I would give anything to be in his
It's
shoes right now
true.
because I would
What
be
in the
screaming too.
world?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I'm running back.
8man,
Yeah, he called it. Jason
Yeah.
called it.
8man called it.
Wow. Wow.
Wait, that
I
to
don't
me,
hate that.
Aikman, you
no,
were
I
right.
hate,
You
I
were
hate it. That's a I mean, look, he's good, but he was
But
behind.
first round,
Yeah, not first
Nah.
round. You have
Not
Terrell
first
that's
round,
still
man.
sitting there.
They
You
missed
have-
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I mean, not
I'll
that
be
bad.
honest. I would have. Let me ask you this: how much of a difference is there if you look at it? If we want to get to it with what running back is in this class, how much of a difference in production are you going to get from Jadarian Price and Mike Washington Jr. in the NFL? Like for the team that will draft Mike Washington Jr. probably tomorrow night, possibly.
Right.
Is it really that big of a difference to warrant taking Price in the
No.
first round?
Not at all. When you have defense and you won because of your defense, you won a Super
Exactly.
Bowl because of your defense. Why not get? Because you got to look now. So round 2, San Francisco first pick in this second round. They just had again a bunch of guys literally just fall in their lap. They need wide receiver. They need some defensive help. They literally can just have their way with whoever. So San Francisco, the Cardinals, the Bills, the Raiders, and then my Giants. You're going to have those top 5 picks tomorrow night are going to be insane because we have some great players still left on the board here.
Yeah.
So
The
this is going to
Seahawks
be
draft room- The Seahawks draft room didn't even look excited right there. They didn't look happy. Like,
well, no,
like those
drafted-
claps look like consolation claps almost. You know?
I think if you're the 49ers, you're coming out of this feeling great. To
Oh, my
start
God.
tomorrow night.
Oh,
yeah,
I mean, you got
you can get-
Cassius Howell sitting there. You've got
Boston,
Caden
you-
McDonald at D tackle. If they want to go that route, I mean,
Right.
they've
I
got
guess-
a lot of options.
they've
Well,
got
I guess
tons of
this
that.
is a pretty good first question. You know, if we can just do a little bit of, ask a couple follow-up questions of the draft since we're finally over. You know, who do you think was the most egregious slide into the second round? Aikman, we can start with you since you are you're right about everything.
I mean, I don't know. I don't. This is tough because I really, honestly, I thought Keldrick Falk was going to make it to the second round. I did not expect at that point when Tennessee traded up that anybody would take him in the first round. I figured he was destined for it. I mean, Denzel Boston sitting there to start the second round is definitely intriguing. And if I'm San Francisco, I'm definitely taking a long, hard look at it. I know you traded for Mike Evans, but he's on the older side. Ricky Pearsall, do you get 6, 7, 8 games from him out of the year? I think Denzel Boston you take a hard look at him to start the second round tomorrow night. I would love it. Like to know that I picked up extra capital, have an early second round pick going into tomorrow night. I really would like to be a GM in that situation right now because I think you can still get first round talent and come out really looking good, picking up extra assets in the process.
Yeah. Luke, let's kick it over to you. Who do you think is the biggest slider into the second round?
Yeah, I've been banging the drum all night for Avion Terrell, but I actually think the biggest slide is McNeil Warren. I think that's a guy that we could have seen easily go like somewhere in the 2025 range, if not higher than that. And I think a lot of teams in the 20 to 32 pick that kind of went away from him and let him slide will regret doing so.
Yeah, I feel like Michael. Do you have the same answer? I know you were calling for him for that last pick.
I'm pretty close to it. Yeah, McNeil Warren, especially being like a natural box safety. I think he just could fit better in Seattle for what they do. But Avion Terrell I'm shocked. I'm very shocked. And I would go as far as to say, like, we're at pick 33, whether it's the 49ers, whether it's the team following the 49ers, the Cardinals, or if it's a team who trades up, this player will not last past 34. I think Terrell's going to be taken very, very quickly tomorrow. And then Buffalo's right behind them. Buffalo could still get Avion Terrell.
Right. Well,
do
and
you
that's
think
a good
Avion Terrell goes before either one of the Tennessee corners?
He should. I do not trust Jermon McCoy's injury history. And I still think Avion Terrell is better than Colton Hood. Just because he's so versatile.
Well, I was scared to death of Jerome McCoy. Just going to be straight up honest with you. Like, that was a dude that, like, I would not have taken the first round just because of missing a whole year on his knee. There's a draft guy that I listen to a lot that has been doing nothing but draft coverage for years. And some of the guys he had talked to in the NFL scouts and whatnot, there was talk that McCoy's knee injury could possibly be a degenerative thing. Like, it's going to get worse as time goes on. And if that's the case, coming off that injury, who knows when he gets picked?
All right.
Jason, let's kick it to you for the last one before we sign off.
Man, you know what?
Giants. Chopped liver, Carson?
Yeah,
we're the co-hosts. If you want to answer,
I missed like an hour and a half of the show.
We'll throw you in here. But look, Denzel Boston. If he falls to the Giants tomorrow, I am going to be over the moon. But man, if I had to pick one guy, like I was really shocked that kind of slid. Zion Young from Missouri. I think those Missouri guys. Usually get picked pretty high, especially the defensive players. I would have thought he would have been a little bit higher on somebody's board, but Boston, we got the fifth pick there in the second round. And man, if Boston falls to us, you put him with Malik Neighbors, holy cow, with Jackson Dart, wrap, let's go. So, man, but what an exciting first round, guys. What an honor to be on here with these guys from Boom Broadcasting here. What a great night, guys. I do appreciate everybody that's been here, everybody that jumped on with Luke, Aikman, Chris, let's go here, Michael Davis, Mr. Carsen, Aaron, guys, thank you so much. It's been an honor to be on the 1,000th show here on the Boom Broadcasting Network, guys. So much love to everybody, and thank you to everybody out there that jumped on here tonight and watched us, made a comment, and showed us some love. So thank you guys very much. What an unbelievable evening. I will not forget this. Thank you.
And Jason, I do need to just say thank you again for holding down the co-hosting duties while
Yeah,
I had to wait to be able to come on. It is greatly appreciated. I mean, for me, the most surprising slip out of the first round is Denzel Boston. In my last mock draft, I had him going 24th overall. He's my highest player in my first round mock that is still available there. And before we go, I just have to shout out everybody. Aikman, you've been phenomenal. Carson, always great co-hosting with you. Luke, I want to get you on more. This is only the second time you've been on one of my shows, and the first time was a year ago with the same stuff.
We need you on, man.
Anytime.
Absolutely. And honestly, I think MVP of the show has got to go to Aikman. Dude, you were sniping picks left
definitely.
and right. Mm-hmm. Michael, I feel like this is the type of guy that we need to get on Boom.
Yeah. I'm so with you. Maybe just a show fully about predictions, but honestly,
that's the kind of thing that gets the pitchforks coming out real fast if you aren't careful.
This guy knows too much ball not to have a show.
I appreciate the love, fellas. It's anytime you can just like kick it and talk football, I am down 100%. I love all the shows you guys have got going on. This is a great outlet as a lifelong radio dude myself from the time I was 13, 14 years old or whatever else. And so me and the wife recently moved. I finally was able to get some of my new studio set back up here at the new place. And so I'm excited. I think by the time Sunday rolls around, Aaron, there's going to be a lot of good recap content for your show by the time everything's all said and done. I think we definitely need to try to get together and talk recap of the draft.
Yeah,
absolutely. Aikman, without a doubt, you are 100% welcome to come on that show. I will send you over the details when I have a better idea what that is going to look like. But on that note, I think that is going to do it for our first round watch along. This has been the best live stream we have ever done on Boom Broadcasting. Absolute massive shout out for everybody watching. This has been spectacular. I wish I could have been here for the whole thing, but I am grateful to have been able to spend 2 hours of the almost 3.5 hours that we have been going. First round was spectacular. Second and third round are going to be amazing. Can't wait to see those numbers tomorrow morning. Hope everybody has a good rest of their night.
See y'all.